Good evening, everybody. We haven't done this in a while. It's been what, about 2 years since the last episode of the Political Pigpen, everyone's favorite show. Um, so today, of course, if you've seen the thumbnail and you see the title of this, we will be doing a review of Donald Trump's first 6 months in office. Second time, Trump 2.0. There was a lot to go over this evening, and I brought on a very wonderful panel this evening. So, of course, like always, I think most of you have been on here before. I think all of you have been on here before. We're going to go by one with introductions, and we will start with American Elitist. How are you doing this evening?
Good, I'm doing good, Mr. Political Crap. Well, if you don't know me, I run a small YouTube channel. I do history. I have some fellow friends of the OGC on an organization I'm a part of. I do content on there sometimes. I also have a Twitter account by the same name. If you're interested in my stuff, you can follow me there.
All right. Thank you for coming on. It's good to see you again. And what about you, Anon? Formerly Chicago liberal. You're one of the.
Formerly, like 50 other fucking people. Yeah.
You were one of the originals. You were on the very first episode. You were on the very first episode 5 years ago.
Yeah, and it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah. So, want to go ahead and introduce yourself to those who do not know you?
Yeah. I don't really do anything these days. So, like, if you don't know me, well, get in line, I guess.
All right.
Yeah,
in that case,
there's nothing to introduce, to be honest.
All right. Beppis, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? Another veteran of the political Pigpen.
Yes, of course. My name is Beppis. It's my legal name. I draw pictures of pretty boys on Twitter sometimes under the handle of Udon Doodles. I am a stay-at-home mom and married woman. And that's about it. Oh, and if my son does wake up, I will be leaving abruptly. So I do apologize if that does become the case.
That is perfectly fine. I understand. And finally, last and certainly least, 3 of 12. How are you doing this evening, 3 of 12?
God damn, I'm getting ASMR tingles already. And how the fuck am I supposed to remember your name, Anon?
Don't worry about
Chicago!
I'm doing pretty good. If your audience remembers me, I don't know if they do, but I am a computer hardware enthusiast. I co-host with Yiz on Mondays on Discord and Dragons. I write about RAM timings, GPU cooling modification, stuff like that. I do a lot of Yiz's tech topics. And don't ask me about hardware, because I will not shut up. So ask me about something else.
All right, what about software?
Well, I did just find a stack of CDs in my uncle's basement, so.
All right, now that everyone's here, everyone's made their introduction, I think we should just jump right into it. Trump 2.0. What does everybody think? I guess we'll go around again. Just tell me what you think, I guess, as sort of an introduction of what you think about his first 6 months. The highs, the lows, neither, whatever. Just I want to hear you guys' raw and filtered opinions on Trump 2.0 so far.
Okay.
Starting with American Elitist, of course.
Well, the Donald has been better than I expected, I'll say that. Better than his first term, where he let a bunch of his terrible advisors and other people into the first administration kind of run into the ground and stop any good agenda he had. But again, the most optimistic thing I've seen so far is actually taking immigration a little bit seriously, and funding ICE is very good. The only actual serious win we've had in a very long time. So that has made me a little bit optimistic, but again, we see he keeps changing his mind about granting amnesty. He still has some really bad people in the administration. So again, I think he's learned some of his mistakes from the first one, but he hasn't learned all of them. And again, he does have a lot of the tiny hats around him. They're influencing a lot of the bad policy. But he does tend to side with us more often than not, so I guess that's better than what we can expect from, a standard politician in our age. So better than, like, a worthless average Republican, I guess.
All right. What about you, Anon? I know last time we talked. I mean, again, I know you haven't really been active, but I remember you were kind of a internet libertarian type. I remember one of my fondest memories of you was 5 years ago on the first episode of the Political Pigpen. You were like, "I'm a Hoppian." That's how you introduced yourself, and that took me off guard. But yeah,
Oh god.
Yeah, nowadays my politics is I don't judge, I just hate. To be honest, uh, well, for Trump, to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed because
Want to
like I
elaborate?
saw him. Sure, like you remember the entire Mike Lee trying to sell off all of our like natural beauty to Chinese people, and how Trump wanted to back him for a bit. Yeah,
I
that
do not
pissed me
remember that.
off.
Yes, and then
There
like
was, there's also the
typical-
Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Oh, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, that was
We'll get
handled
into
so
that.
terribly.
we'll get into that.
Like,
I'm
the
sure.
worst way they could have
yeah.
physically handled that.
But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
at
no,
least
yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
definitely the
much
that's the low. I think
Because
that
even
is
if they
definitely the
do,
low.
even if like behind the scenes they do have some form of good intentions with Epstein, the PR around it is so dog
Oh,
shit.
it's awful. It's
It's
awful.
Right.
been like literally every single thing they've done with it has been the worst possible move.
They could have
Like
handled it with
foregoing
so
literally
much
like
nuance.
foregoing someone showing up on camera and going, you know what, pedophiles aren't that bad.
Well, that's
Like-
gonna take that out of context. That's gonna be a sound clip.
That's probably because those people vote Democrat, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Those are just Vouch regular viewers out there. We just call those Vouch
Oh,
viewers.
sure.
When they're not busy sucking horsecock.
Also true.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
only
and-
do it when the horse is under the age of 18.
Live
Well,
horse
did you know
reaction.
that some horses, when they're 14, are legal? So, like in Japan, for example, and you know,
I mean, you gotta think about the
We're gonna
the
stop
consent
with that
of
stuff.
the other
Jeff.
partner.
All right,
we
let's
get
go.
it.
Let's
The
go,
horse
guys.
game
Let's
is
go.
addicting.
Let's go one at a time. We don't want to be all talking over each other. Beppis, tell me what you think about the first 6 months of Trump 2.0.
there's been some things I like, some things I dislike. Overall, I think he's at least better than Kamala.
That's not a
Although
high
I don't
bar,
know
though.
how high of a bar
That's-
that is. No, I like the cultural shift it's caused, generally speaking. I enjoy that there's at least been some effort to begin deporting people, some effort at introducing some more law and order, although I think they could have been a bit more brutal with the rioters. That would have made me happy in California. I think that overall, it's a net positive so far, this administration. But like Afghanistan, or not Afghanistan, forgive me. Where?
Iran.
Iran, thank you. That turned out much better than I expected. I was definitely a bit of a doomer there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was worried about like World War
Yeah.
III.
Yeah, me too for a second. But I'm glad that was handled. That ended up being a positive outcome. The Epstein stuff, as we just said, terrible, like utterly terrible. But I think that's more of like an issue among like people who are very politically involved. I don't see a lot of normies talking about it.
Even though they should.
I wish they would too, but people don't. That's a few orders above what the average person really cares about, sadly. Very entertaining, at least currently right now, his adventure in Europe. I loved the interviews with him and Keir Starmer. That was
Oh, too
some of the
queer.
he like the body language of Keir just absolutely like losing his mind. Like you could just see him like melting down on the inside when Donald Trump just goes, wind power, stupid. It's great. Ugly, kills the birds. You know, it's illegal to kill bald eagles here. Windmills, they do it all the time. Weird that they're still allowed to operate. It's like and like the British Prime Minister's like, but we just built so many. Why would you say that? Like, it was very good. I enjoyed that quite a lot. I enjoyed that quite a lot. But yeah, he's done a couple good things, some annoying things. Hopefully he'll do some better things in the future.
I hope so. I'm not keeping my hopes up, but either
It's
way,
better than what it was. But yeah,
what about 3 of 12? Yeah, 3
Well,
of 12.
the-
What do you think?
The wild-eyed objectivist in me is so happy. I give him an A minus. Because as bad as the Epstein situation is, it doesn't really change anything from the status quo that nothing's happened with it yet. It's like, yes, there are shitters in the in various agencies still that we have to purge. Yes, Pam Bondi's probably a plant. Yes, Kash Patel's probably not much better. It's like, okay, that's status quo. I'm not terribly hurt by that. I actually still think something's going to happen because he still says that he's going to do something. Like when the man says he's going to do something, he does something.
I mean, whether it's good or bad, it's always does something.
Yes, it's always something.
It's definitely a net positive. Yeah, it's definitely like
Yes,
because I voted for him in each time, like 2016 and up. So I tend to be a little critical of him myself. But
I wish I could say
I
that.
think it's really been a net positive overall. I just there's just a few key areas where I'm like, I wish it had been a little tighter. I wish it had been done just a little tighter.
Like what?
Specifically, the handling of some foreign policy stuff in just optics. Like for example, earlier on there was like the invading Canada comments. Well, really funny, and don't get me wrong, I loved that part of it, but it absolutely gutted the populist movement in Canada and basically tanked the whole. I forget the guy's name, Pierre.
Pierre Poilievre. Yeah, basically
it
Poilievre
tanked his whole campaign.
Yeah, because even though on policy he's not even very similar to Trump, but people associate people associated him with Trump because because
he was more of a populist. And so it became like the nationalistic thing then became like hating on Trump, and so it definitely turned enough of the normies off in Canada that it's secured like the liberals, like Justin Trudeau's party, basically for the next decade. And that's really like there was a big potential there to uplift Pierre and get actual like friends in power over there that would have actually brought Canada more so in line with our interests. And I think that was definitely a missed opportunity.
No. I have a very hot take on this. What we're getting in return for that is so much better. We're getting a Canada that has provinces ready to split off.
Well, they've always done that, right? Like
but the
Quebec does that
really
every couple years.
Quebec was not that close. It was not as close as Alberta is right now.
Do you really think there's a real potential of it?
I do.
For Alberta, yeah.
Yes, for Alberta, absolutely. And Manitoba and Saskatchewan are getting close.
Why?
Well, first, I mean, I took a look at their poll numbers.
Mm-hmm. No, I just want to know, like, what, like I'm not familiar with their like on the ground politics. Or like, what are the things that are bringing that change about?
Is that Ontario does not give a shit about the people who live in these areas at all because they won't give them grant money. They won't maintain basic infrastructure. The police abuse them everywhere. They're living basically as a hostage to Ontario. The federal police officers are completely corrupt, and they're underdeveloped, and they have resources, but they get taxed to death. So they can't really make much off of it. I mean, it's just the hellhole that is Canada, and they don't want any part of that anymore. Now, whether or not that leads to them joining the United States is an entirely different issue. There's different polling on that. Like in Alberta, since I know more about the numbers, I believe that like the top out of the top 5 parties that they were voting for in the most recent elections, the top 2 were pro leaving Canada. I think the largest one was 25%, and it was pro leaving Canada and joining the United States. And the other was just pro leaving Canada. I'm thinking of some. No, I'm thinking of Greenland. My bad.
With with Canada though specifically, how does it work for their provinces? I mean, do they have an ability to even leave?
Yes, they do. They do.
Okay.
They have actual legal ability to leave. And that's what they're still going with. They're kind of going the same route that Americans went with by finding a political option with Trump. They're trying to find the legal below way to do it, the big legal middle finger, and that is to just simply leave, because then they become autonomous. They don't have to deal with the federal government anymore. They can still have their provincial stuff.
And then we can invade. Then we can invade them. They'll be vulnerable for invasion. Trump wins. There you go.
Well,
I mean,
I don't
true,
think
because,
I don't
like-
think we would.
Well,
I don't think we would.
We wouldn't invade
No,
them.
he could build- he could
just
build-
ask to join.
We
He could build
You
Trump
don't need to
Trump.
invade.
We don't
He
need
could
to
build
invade
Trump-
them.
He can build Trump
Winter
Tower.
Edmonton Trump Tower.
Trump
Yes.
Tower, Ottawa. Trump Tower, Ottawa. Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean the votes are intertwined with the possibility that they would join the United States, because the reason why they want to leave is because they actually like the way that the states are governed in the United States.
What's
much
the
better.
what's the immigration rate specifically to those states, or is it or is the majority of
It's-
immigrants coming in going to Ontario and Quebec?
Well,
It's
I
pretty bad.
actually know something on this. It's that
for it.
Alberta is, I think, the only Canadian province that actually has a positive growth rate from its native population.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I did not know that.
All the other
for
ones are
them.
shrinking.
Well, all the other ones are becoming very, very.
All the
Indian.
other ones are becoming Uttar Pradesh, yes.
Yes, so that they have the potential to actually be quite a positive addition to the.
I was going to make a
United
quick
States.
point about Alberta and secession. Another reason Alberta
Go for it.
probably is pro more secession than the other provinces is because Alberta has a big oil industry.
Mhm.
And the elites in Alberta that are in charge of oil recognize that Ottawa is hostile to their interests and to their money. So they're naturally going to be more pro secession and support people who are in those interests because that's where they make their money from.
Yes.
And Alberta has a big oil and mineral industry, so that might be some other reason why they're more pro secession that I can see from them, because they actually produce something that makes
You-
money.
You are more correct than you even realize, because the federal government has been harsher.
Saskatchewan
on them.
doesn't have that industry, so it just broke. It's just
Don't they have Saskatchewan has like deposits though that could be.
it has
Saskatchewan
minerals,
a
but doesn't
very
have an
good
oil
grain
industry.
I
What-
know that.
the federal government has basically just denied all permits, despite the fact that they made the rules for how they are exploited. They just won't give them permits. They won't develop
Exactly.
it.
So they're
They won't let them
stopping. They're stopping
Yes.
people from like using their minerals and wealth.
The-
So I'm gonna cut this off here. We're getting a little off topic. Let's move on to discuss. I mean, okay. So Bepis, you actually
This is
finished what you were
important.
saying. No, Bepis, you finished what you were saying.
No, that was
you
my
said-
that was my point. It was essentially expounded upon.
Oh, so it was just the
That's what I think
joking
is
about-
probably like just
Okay.
optics wise was one of the more disappointing things he's done. And if he
Trump's-
actually like, let's say he does bring amnesty to illegals in the country currently, that would be a big bummer. I'd be big mad about that. Very upsetty spaghetti.
I don't think he will, though. And
I hope
basically-
not. I'd be so pissed.
because
Like,
he's
get him the
basically turned that
I'm
around.
I'm at the point where I'm like, everyone who came here post World War II needs to pack up and leave.
But yeah, it best
No,
be
but the thing is,
predictable.
Trump is-
Revoke
I'm
their
gone.
citizenship and
Jeez.
kick them out.
Trump isn't good at following through with his promises, though. I mean, I think his
No, he's
first
not.
term. I mean, his first term is like the perfect example of just. He's basically the opposite of Polk. Basically, Polk kept all of his promises, but Trump. I mean, what was it? So the wall was never finished.
Well, I
first
mean,
of all,
Polk
I mean,
was also
first I think
good at
I've always
setting
thought the
up-
wall was kind of a waste of money, but that's besides the point. He promised the wall, never really got it. Also, the border, he didn't. He actually was weaker on the border than Obama. That's just something that a lot of people don't realize. I mean, his rhetoric was
so
definitely
funny.
about that, but
Nope.
I just think it's hilarious.
He's
But
in mind.
and then,
Because Trump is a
President can't-
moderate overall. He's
Yes.
always been a moderate. He's a boomer lib, and well,
He's a
that's
90s
just what it is.
Democrat. He's a
well,
90s
he's,
Democrat.
He's a moderate. He's always been a moderate. He's always been about making deals and concessions with people to bring people into the fold, so we can all work together to make more money. That's always been his shtick. So obviously, campaign promises aren't going to translate into full fruition, right?
Yeah, she
And I'm
still
not
hasn't
saying that
been locked
to
up.
detract
so-
against him, but it does bring it into a more like realistic perspective of like on the ground like operations of how things are gonna like happen within reality.
so that actually brings me to a point that I think is important to make. So you have all the people who are saying, "Oh yeah, no, Trump is like undermining the Constitution. He hates the Constitution." Blah 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 blah. And yes, well, I do think in some ways he is undermining the Constitution. I don't think it is because he is. I don't think it's because he's like actually trying to do it to benefit himself necessarily. my position on this is, so he's a businessman. First of all, he wants to do what he thinks is most efficient. He's like, okay, whatever the fastest way to do this, we could do that. And so even if that means going through like extra constitutional means, that's just the way his brain works. Now, I'm not necessarily condoning that. However, I don't think that Trump is as evil as a lot of people say he is.
I
Now,
wish
don't
he
think
was sometimes.
I don't
wish he
think
was
he's
more
like, look,
evil.
I don't think Trump is a good I do not think Trump is a good person. I think he's a charlatan. He's pretty much just in it for himself. But then again, that's kind of a lot of politicians. But Trump is kind of, at least you get what you see, and he's not like trying to hide the fact that he's an
more
I
asshole.
don't think he's a
so,
charlatan
like,
at all.
I think more so than like any president in my lifetime, your lifetime. I think there is definitely a part of him that does actually care about America. Now,
his
is it
own
in
way,
the way
maybe.
that is it in the way that
I think it's
I
more
want
than
it to
just about-
happen? You know,
it's
is
like
it
half
is
as
fierce in certain areas as I'd like it to be? Maybe not. No, but I do think he actually is a patriot. I would make that argument, especially more so compared to Obama and Bush and Clinton. You know.
Yeah, one of the things he is still doing that I don't like to see is he's inviting some of the same snakes from the first administration back in.
Yeah.
And that's where we got, like, the same calls as giving more weapons to Ukraine. That's where we almost got, Iran, part 3, basically. A lot of those people, Lindsey Graham types that were around him, were whispering in his ear, literally telling him to go to war.
How happy do you think Lindsey Graham was?
How gay do
That
you
was
have
his,
to
like,
make
finest
Lindsay
moment,
Graham?
probably.
Oh,
right
dude,
there.
he gave Lindsey Graham blue balls on not putting boots on the ground.
Dude.
But we all
Like,
know
John
he's-
Bolton was really up there. He was, like, jacking off at that thought. He was really
Oh
up
my
there.
God. Yeah,
John Bolton is
like
awful.
what was the like you know how they track whenever there's like some like world drama going on, how they'll track the Pizza Hut the orders at the Pentagon. Someone I remember, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but someone's like, what's the traffic like at the gay bar across the street from the Pentagon right now? Like, it's like spiked as fuck.
That's
I
such a
think I
good
know
measure.
exactly
like
what bar you're
Lindsey
talking about.
like
God
Lindsey
loves
is
artists.
Lindsey Graham is just absolutely getting one right now.
Yeah, he's a clown. He's a clown.
Let's be kind.
No, but either way, though,
Be nice to that queen. Leave her be.
Either way, though, I will say, so when Trump started out, so basically, so I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala either. Like if you remember, there was
Better
the
not, or
election.
I'll fucking come to your house and hurt you.
There was the
Yeah, I'm
election-
gonna join. I'll drive you.
There was the election stream back in November, and I remember me and Aiden and everyone on the panel, we were all on the edges of our seats because it looked pretty close. But I was rooting for
so
Trump.
good.
Like
Why
I was
did you
rooting.
vote for him then?
What?
You
Because
fucking
I did a write-in. Like I just
know you
didn't-
did. I know you did, and I was so upset at you.
lame.
either-
Why is
Either
this
way,
nigga-
either way though, I was actually relieved when he won. I was relieved when he won because
I mean, I knew he was
hate
winning when he
Kamala.
won Florida easily.
Kamala,
me too. I
Kamala
was
and Ted
happy.
Cruz
Yeah,
are my
but we
least
knew he was
favorite.
gonna win Florida.
How could you say that about Ted? How could you say that? He grew that beard and he became so much manlier.
Yeah, Daddy. Yeah, Daddy's head.
He kind of has that. What type of creature is he? Like,
A
Like-
swamp creature?
no,
He looks
no,
like
no.
he looks
has
like
like.
the
No, I
he
want
looks
to know
like the
what type
grandpa
of,
from the Munsters.
He does,
that
but like, what type of
60s
race
show.
of man is that? Like, what's his like genetics? He
Hispanic.
that's like a certain look. Is it? It doesn't feel Hispanic, but like Napoleon had kind of that look. Kevin from The
Swarthy?
Office.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Like there's a genetic, like there's something there, and it activates the neurons in my brain when I see it, and I'm like, I can't tell if it's human or not.
Physiognomy.
Like an
I can't
uncanny
tell if
valley.
it
Like I'm
remains
looking at a
undefeated.
skinwalker
I can't tell if
that's
he's
gonna
a kid
start
or
to like
not.
peel out of his face.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish what I was saying here, but
Yes, of course.
So yes, but so I was actually I was kind of vibing with Trump for the first 2 months. Again, still very very cautious. I did see him actually at CPAC. I watched his speech. Like I've been there the past 2 years. Speech wasn't very good. I will say his speeches are nowhere near as good as they were during his first term. Like the Warsaw speech was great. American Carnage, that's a classic. That's going to be studied in the future. But basically, like his speeches now, he just kind of rambles now, and it's just not as, I don't know, he's not as funny as he used to be.
Yeah,
maybe
his
it's
victory
phenomenal.
speech on election night was very disappointing. I gotta
He
say.
seems to focus more on reminding people that he hasn't forgotten what he put them in office for.
Yeah, no, so I liked some of the stuff he was doing at first. A lot of it is because I kind of like that. And look, I have my criticisms of Elon, but I was a fan of a lot of the Doge stuff, and I thought maybe Elon could rein Trump in a little bit and maybe convince him of some better economic policy, specifically on economic policy.
Yes.
Elon doesn't know anything about
person
economics.
is going to give us great economic policies for the little
No,
guy
he doesn't
that
have great
is
economic.
trillionaire.
But look, I liked some of the things that Trump did
Hire
within
more
his first 2 months. I like his nominee, like his cabinet. This cabinet is 10 times better than his first term.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
like
100%.
And it
I
seems
think
like
his
little
biggest
Marco
mis-
Rubio got
No,
a-
I think his
got a
biggest
conversion.
mistake was not making Tulsi Gabbard Secretary of State. I don't think she belongs as the Director of Intelligence. I think she should have been Secretary of State. Like, yeah.
But you might have a point there because, damn, she has been on fire with her takes, and she's been to Davos before, and she found it all disgusting. And she said they were all anti-white. I'm like, I want that person's Secretary of State.
Stephen Miller has been one of the best in the Trump administration.
I don't like
Gotta say.
Miller. I mean, he's basically, honestly, like he's like a Jewish supremacist, basically, deep down. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Wait,
So
there's a word for that. There's a word for that, I thought.
Yeah, there is.
Israeli?
But maybe we can't say it here.
Is it banned?
Oh.
It might get us targeted.
Juice of Goebbels.
Shut up. Juice.
So are you getting the same vibes off of him that
I
people
really
got
hope
off
that
of
my girlfriend wrote
off of
that down.
Vivek?
Oy vey. Juice.
Oy vey.
Am I not coming in very loud?
No, you're fine. I'm sorry. We're just talking over you.
Yeah.
But one of the least favorite things I think he's done is the little ugly bill. I'm sorry, I am not a fan of that. Just raises spending. Like yes, tax. Yes, there were tax cuts. Yes, there was deregulation. Yes, they defunded some things, but at the same time, they raised spending.
They gave another billion to
gotta break
Ukraine
a
or
few
something.
eggs.
They gave another $1 billion to Ukraine. Like it's not. Yeah, I'm totally on board with Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey is the most America first congressman that we have out of both the Senate and the House.
Probably because he's the only one we have.
Yeah. I will say though, I'm surprised. I'm surprisingly impressed with MTG lately.
That's a very low bar for the Republican.
That is a low bar.
Incredibly mind-numbingly stupid she is.
She's so dumb. She is stupid. She's not as dumb as Lauren Boebert, but like she's still dumb.
Barely. They're like on a competition for how low on the
because
IQ
you-
spectrum.
Oh, don't.
Well, you already
But at
know
least
that
she's on our
someone would
side,
be
for fuck's
incredibly
sake.
stupid when their last name was Boebert.
Yeah.
Didn't she
Guys,
rip
let's
her
not
dog?
talk. Let's not talk over each other. Let's try to make this more of a dialogue.
Didn't Lauren kill her dog and then talked about it?
No, that was
in
Christy.
public?
That was Christy.
Oh, forgive me. I'm so sorry.
That's the most women thing
they're
ever.
all very generic.
Woman
But
Boebert.
no, I
She
said
killed her
she
dog
killed the
because
dog.
of
She didn't
rabies.
fuck the dog.
Yeah, there you go.
For Christ's sake, she's not that kind of white woman.
And she had to put
Are
it
you
down because
sure?
it had rabies.
Oh God, you're right. Maybe something untoward did occur. It's a joke.
All right, so we are. I'm pulling up an
real
article
life.
here.
It's in her
I'm pulling
book.
She talked about it in her book.
Yes, that's how it came up.
Murdering or something else.
Killing her dog. 'cause it had rabies.
Okay, I know.
All right, so we're going to take a look right now at this article. Of course, it's from the White House. I'm sure he's going to be tooting his own horn. But so, President Trump marks 6 months in office with historic success. So today, President Donald J. Trump celebrates the most successful first 6 months in office for any president in modern American history. So number
Very
one,
I agree that modern American history. I would agree. Like the
just say-
last 4 years.
So Congress has passed one big, beautiful bill, thereby delivering the largest tax cut in American history, which is not true. Increasing Americans' take-home pay by as much as $13,300. That's good. And terminating the benefits for at least 1.4 illegal immigrants who are.
That's
gaming
very
the system.
good. That's very
That is good. I mean, yeah. Like I'm not anti-immigration, but like I mean,
You should
I think it's
be.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you
I
need to
don't
be
think
absolutely
You need to
against
be. You
immigration.
need to be.
Oh no! When it
You
comes
need to be more
here's the thing.
radicalized.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think
You
it's
gotta
a complicated.
join.
I think it's a complicated. When it comes to Europe, send them all back. Like those are. Like,
Oh, what?
legitimate-
They get
yeah.
their
What?
homeland, but we don't.
Man, you're
Oh,
starting
wow.
to sound like a tiny hat. You know, it's like diversity for thee, but not for me.
Diversity
You know,
is our
You
strength,
sounded
but it's
really
not
I
their
just-
strength.
I
It's
just
not the
think we
homeland.
need.
We are going
I
to
just think
bully
we
you,
need better
you know?
vetting. We just need better vetting.
No, we need
higher
nobody.
standards.
We need them all to go home.
No,
we know
no,
no one else to
Americans
come
need
here.
jobs.
Yeah.
By the
we
way,
need
so,
immigration moratorium.
Yes.
At the very
So-
least, until we get this fixed.
No, I mean I don't. Yeah, I mean I could. I could. be
Maybe
down
like
with
a
that,
couple. Maybe like 3 or 4 each year.
Come on, show some
So-
backbone.
So anyway, we'll continue with this. So Congress passed President Trump's historic rescissions package, which will save taxpayers $9 billion in wasteful, politically motivated funding for left-wing foreign aid scams and biased NPR and PBS.
That was
NPR
one
is-
good thing he did do.
No,
Shut
no,
down
yeah.
USAID.
Here's the thing. I like PBS, but the thing is, it should not be propped up by the government. This isn't the 70s where it is underfunded. Like it survives alone, like enough on donations, and because it was defunded, that's actually been raising the amount of donations that have been going to PBS. PBS is going to be fine. NPR is going to be fine. I'm glad that we are no longer funding them. But also, the wholesale price of a dozen eggs is down 53%, or 309 since the inauguration. It is down 62%, 5.08 of its March peak. The U.S. economy has now added a net 671,000 jobs since January, with job numbers beating expectations 4 months in a row. Native-born workers have accounted for all job gains, with native-born employment increasing by 2 million something, while foreign-born employment has fallen 543,000.
We gotta get those
So
numbers.
that's
up,
pretty
that's
good. I mean,
that
I
is
will
very
say that's
good.
yeah. So U.S. Customs and Border Patrol encountered just 6,000 plus illegal immigrants at the southern border in June. That's good. Setting a new record low, 15% lower than the previous record set in March. 0 illegal immigrants were released into the U.S. on parole in June, compared to 27,766 a year prior. Now, that actually does bring me to one criticism specifically I have of Trump. And now, I mean, I think that, like, yes, of course, like, if you come here illegally, yeah, like, you shouldn't be here, so, like, deport you. But there was the Carmelo Anthony situation for reasons totally different than why the shitlibs were against that. They just didn't like that he was deported. However, the thing that I found really unsettling, and I find it sets a terrible precedent, was they didn't send him back home to his country. They were sending him to the El Salvadorian
Garcia,
prison.
not Carmelo Anthony.
Garcia, not Carmelo Anthony. What am I saying? Garcia. I'm thinking of the guy who stabbed the guy. Yeah, that's
Yeah, the
funny.
black
the
guy
guy
who
who
murdered a
committed
white
murder
kid. Yeah,
in
broad
broad
daylight.
But yeah, no. So Garcia. So the thing is, Bukele, when he built those prisons, it was absolutely necessary. He's to totally turn that country around. It's a success story. However, just the idea of sending people, even if they're illegals, sending them to a completely foreign prison that has nothing to do with America, like, that doesn't sit well with me.
Why?
Like, I mean,
Why not?
so I mean, if we
Yeah,
want to build
why?
one of those, if we want to build one of those prisons, or if
We have a
want to build one of
camp in
those prisons,
Florida. It's
Democrat,
called
why are you
Alligator
being so wet?
Alcatraz.
no, but okay, so if we want to build a prison like that, fine. But it needs to be in America. I just don't like the idea of outsourcing
Right,
prisoners
they
to
are not.
other
They don't
countries.
belong here.
But they're
He's
not our
from
citizens.
here.
Yeah, no, but we shouldn't send. Yeah, no, but we should have.
They have
sent,
no rights or privileges.
Why not?
They're not Americans.
Why
Yeah, no,
not?
but why? No,
He's
but
a
why not
criminal
deport
in
them
his own
back to their country?
Okay,
Why not deport
why?
them just back to their
Because
country?
it's cheaper to just put them in an El Salvadorian prison. That's why.
Exactly.
Wait,
How about I don't care about their well-being? I don't
Exactly.
care.
I literally
Exactly.
don't.
additionally, we didn't have an extradition treaty that was suitable for that sort of thing.
That too.
Yeah.
So it's like
I mean, if
we're
you
running
literally
out of
dropped them over the Pacific Ocean, I still wouldn't care at all.
Yeah, would you
That's
rather
well,
have-
that's a little too far. What if some of them can't swim?
that and the point of the prisons in El Salvador is
It's
actually
to punish them
not just punish
for
them, but
breaking the
also
law.
right, but not just that, but also to make sure that they actually improve as people by giving them work to do, of allowing the way
Oh,
to,
I
a way to pay
see.
back.
I don't care if
society?
they improve as long as they're out of here.
Yeah, I am thoroughly pro illegal underclass. So, not really. I'm kidding.
Are you like a neo-libertarian or something, gay like that?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Say,
yeah.
Okay, go back to the
bill's
list. We're
gonna
getting
come out.
sidetracked here.
Yes.
Well, either way, so moving on, at President Trump's direction, U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement has arrested over 100,000 illegals, including 2,700 members of this gang, which I'm not even going to bother to pronounce. So, following President Trump's
Brown
declaration
horns.
of an energy emergency, the U.S. has reached its fastest rate of new oil and gas drilling permits in years, exceeding the Biden administration by 44%. I will say that's a little, the way they word this is a little, I don't want to say disingenuous, but it's not quite like honest, because it was steadily going up under Biden, and it's kind of been a gradual increase either way. So I think it's giving too much credit to Trump there. Not that Biden deserves any credit either, but it's been a steady increase.
Yeah, but
and it just so
Biden-
happens to be under.
I'm just Biden did it because he was basically staring into the abyss of a dysfunctional economy and presidency.
And
so,
Biden
like,
wasn't even running any of the show. Let's be fucking real here.
Exactly.
This is like the administration deep state set up by Obama. who's
Right,
running
when I
his
say
entire
Biden, I mean, like,
administration, you know.
yeah.
So
You're-
yes,
you're right.
So next we have, since President Trump took office, core inflation has tracked at just 2.1%, levels not seen since the first, when prices were low and stable, come in below an economist's expectations every single month. Meanwhile, wholesale inflation remained flat in June, while import prices came in far below expectations. Okay. Summer gas prices reached their lowest point since 2021. Yes, that is very true. And inflation adjusted a near 20-year low. Okay, here's one I really do like. President Trump's deregulatory efforts have already saved Americans over $180 billion. $2,100 per family of 4 with rollback, blah, blah, blah. There we go. That's good. Here's another one. President Trump secured a historic agreement for NATO members to raise defense spending up to 5% of GDP. Good. Good.
Yep.
That's good.
Actually, I'm going to disagree because I don't like NATO as an organization. But that's a tangent. That's,
Yeah, but
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
that's a
a,
totally different thing.
right. But this is a jumping board for them to fund their own protection.
Yeah, no. So this one is totally a lie, though. Under President Trump's strong and decisive leadership,
Oh.
the U.S. obliterated.
Was this written by like BB himself? Jeez. It's written-
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to.
Yeah, that was the quote, wasn't it? Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was literally a quote from BB. I feel like it was.
They might have written this like a week or two ago when that wasn't so sure yet.
I don't know. He's over at the White House so many times. Maybe he was doing like his laundry, and like Trump just decided to let him on the website. I don't know.
I mean, don't forget, all three powers agreed on this.
So continuing, ceasefires between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran. Trump didn't really have much to do with India and Pakistan. I don't know
Bingo
why-
bongo country, yeah, whatever. Bingo.
So
Uh,
Trump. Okay, this one's funny. This
he
is just a-
moderated it.
this one's
They
just him
moderated
tooting his own.
the peace accord, though.
Pardon?
The U.S. moderated those negotiations.
Yeah. but-
Wait a minute.
so-
I don't believe that. I don't
What do you mean you
believe
don't
that
believe
at
it?
all.
Well, yeah, no, this is not true. As a result of his historic peacemaking effort, this is true. But the thing
Why
is,
isn't
it
he
doesn't
ended the
even-
war in Ukraine, which is the only war I
Oh, he
really
did.
care about?
Oh, he did.
But,
And a
no, I'm
nomination
talking
doesn't
about.
mean
I'm talking
anything.
about this one. As a result of his historic peacemaking efforts, President Trump has already received 3 Nobel Peace Prize nominations since returning to office. I don't know why that is. That's not really relevant here because that's not policy related. Plus, anybody can nominate anybody for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Wasn't
So
Hitler nominated for one once?
yes, he was. He was
It's
nominated.
actually
he was
so
nominated.
based.
Yeah,
Hitler was
yeah.
nominated for 5, I believe.
Was he?
So
Wild.
Congrats, Trump. You have less peace prizes than Hitler.
We'll get there, damn it.
So in May, blue-collar wage growth saw its largest increase in nearly 60 years since President Trump's return to office. Companies and foreign governments have pledged over $7.6 trillion in investments to the U.S. Treasury has taken in nearly $90 billion in tariff duties since... okay, honestly, I'm not even going to bother. We'll talk about the tariffs later, which is very clearly, and I think most of us can agree on that is like one of the objectively bad things that he has been doing. So President Trump has once again proved to be dealmaker in chief, inking in a minerals deal with Ukraine.
Okay, Brest-Litovsk Part 2. Brest-Litovsk.
Okay, this part actually, I do not like this. President Trump has signed over 170 executive orders. Like, we just have a problem. Each president signs more and more executive orders than the last. And it's just, It's been like that since.
That's because
FDR.
nobody can pass any laws in our system.
Yeah.
Nobody
That's
can pass
fair,
any
but
permanent
at the same-
laws. You know.
I'm
But
sorry,
at the
but
same
are you gonna
time, at the
fix
same
the
time,
country
it
or
does. At the same time, it does enable Caesarism essentially. Like that's basically the direction we're going in. But that said, protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation. That's good.
That's good.
Removing men from women's sports. I mean,
Okay, well.
that's basically a slop issue. That's totally a slop issue. So, unleashing
I don't
American.
agree.
That's
Unleash-
a great optic issue. That's a
Unleash-
great optic issue.
Women
That's
care
the
about
one
that.
thing
That's
that.
good.
Okay.
It's the one thing that
You just
like
hate
Gen
women.
X and Boomer like normies that are like kind of
Yeah.
more default live. It's the one thing that like underneath it like really kind of like upsets them and weirds them out.
Yeah, remember, Politica, you have to maintain the mandate of your core voting base, and that's what the core voting base wanted.
Yeah, I
They wanted
know.
culture war stuff.
I'm still, but it's still a slop issue. That's what I mean. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, but
Okay, protecting girls is just a waste of time. Okay.
no, when I say it's a slop issue, I mean it's like one of those issues that's kind of. So no, I agree, but it's not as big of an issue as people make it. Like it's not this civilizational ending thing that people are talking about. Like I agree with the principle behind what he did here, but I just don't think it's significant enough to like really mention here. Also,
Maybe not.
unleashing American energy, like that is very vague. I don't even know what that means.
So basically, what he means by that is he granted permits for oil companies to drill on lands from the Federal Land Bureau. Biden like stopped those permits. That's all that basically means. He basically gave them permits to drill for oil on federal land.
That and fracking
Basically,
and,
yeah.
and
Fucking
new
nothing.
permits for natural gas.
Okay, so
It's a little
what do
bit
you guys-
more than you think.
So, what do you guys think of Maha?
I
I
like
think it's
it.
great.
The fuck's a Maha?
What?
Make America healthy again.
again.
Oh,
I
Yeah, this
was
is good.
actually-
This is good.
I actually
Oh, yeah,
was
that's
present
great.
at the September 29th rally where, Jordan Peterson and...
I wish this would actually. My only
Hey,
critique
Let
about.
him, let 3 of 12 finish what he was saying.
I was present there at the September 29th Maha rally. It was actually fantastic. Let's see. RFK Jr. was there. Jordan Peterson was there. Also, I think Charlie Kirk was there. What's his name? The Twitter Files guy was there. Russell Brand and Jordan Peterson led a prayer together for the crowd. It was actually fantastic. That was what got me on board with Maha, because they actually put their money where their mouth was. And since then, RFK Jr. has been very busy in office, and I agree with
Yeah,
most of the things he's done.
Like, here's the thing. So RFK he's a kooky guy. He says some dumb things sometimes, but I think he was the perfect fit for the position that he was put in. Like, he's one of the only ones
Yes.
who's actually legitimately anti-big pharma. It doesn't talk out of like both sides of his mouth.
Yes.
I think he was definitely one of the best appointees. And again, I think he's goofy, but it doesn't really have any bearing on like what he's actually doing. So.
Yep.
I think he's probably one of the best cabinet members that Trump has. But
Mhm.
but either way, okay. So yes, so President Trump inked an agreement to provide billions of dollars of military equipment to Ukraine with the NATO footing the bill. No.
Yeah.
You see,
This is bad.
That was
the
bad.
20 trillion to CENTCOM, please.
That's on top of the other billion we gave under Biden too. Multiple billions.
Although we made Mexico pay for it, apparently.
You know what I want to know is, what are we actually accomplishing with this money?
Fucking nothing.
It basically
Nothing.
goes into like corruption and black ring. It's basically a laundering scheme.
Yes. The money
Here's the-
pots.
here's the thing. I do not like Zelensky at all. Like I don't like Putin. I don't like Putin either. And I think Zelensky's a con. Zelensky's a con who's stealing billions of
Zelensky's a
dollars
rat.
of
Okay,
taxpayer
sorry, rat.
money. No, he's stealing billions of dollars of taxpayer money. However, I will say, if I were Zelensky, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
What are you saying?
Politically,
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't be doing any. If I were Zelensky in his shoes,
Oh my fucking Christ! Stop talking over me. Fuck. Okay, so one thing that I'm noticing in this sentence though is billions of dollars of military equipment, not funding. And from what I've heard, all this military equipment is Gulf War era that we don't use anyway. Doesn't it cost us more money to go and get rid of that military equipment by disposing it than just giving it to some schmuck in Ukraine?
Ooh, good point. Good point. What, that 50-year-old
actually saving us
bazooka? It might
money?
blow up in his face. Yeah.
Well,
He might be
well,
good
not
point.
50. Well, here's the funny thing, though. Fucking Desert Storm era equipment is still running roughshod over the Russians' newest shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we pulled out of Afghanistan, we just left all that stuff there because it's cheaper to leave there and just abandon it than it is to bring
Well, that
it
was
back
just
to
a
the US.
clusterfuck of an operation.
Well, no,
that-
that was
yeah.
actually just Biden being a retard.
Incompetence, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, don't give Biden any points on
Like
that
here's the
one.
thing,
He
I'm glad
really
we're not
fucked
in
that up.
I'm glad we're not in Afghanistan anymore, but he totally screwed up that with
Yeah, 13 members got literally killed at the end because of literally his incompetence.
Yeah, do you have any idea what the ramifications have been of leaving that equipment in Afghanistan?
Yeah,
We literally
think
made the
about
Taliban one of the most powerful militaries, just by
Well,
U.S.
you know what?
arms.
At least now it's just Pakistan and Iran's problem, so who gives a shit? You know?
it. So now they're talking. So now we have AI stuff right there, right below there.
Ew.
U.S. is on.
I don't like AI.
Okay, so U.S. is on track for lowest murder rate on record following President Trump's reinstatement of law and order. Again, I don't like some of these because of how vague they make them sound.
Also, it's like where?
Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
Where?
When did we start recording the murder rate?
Oh God, no! You reminded me of that. Oh no!
No, seriously, when did we start recording it?
Oh God, no! I need to stick this 22 revolver in my mouth.
So hospitals or hospital systems across the country have halted gender-affirming care. Good. First
Good.
6 months, President Trump has met with 23 foreign leaders, including 3 visits from
Oh.
Satan, as well as 2 visits from NATO Secretary General, compared to 13 foreign leaders in UN Secretary General, the NATO Security Secretary General, the Chinese Foreign Minister for Obama, and just 5 in-person visits for Biden. That's really worrying.
I'm really surprised it's 3 and not like 1 million in like
Yeah.
6 months. I'm really surprised. I'm really
But yeah, so on top of that, so I just think that though, so I think Doge. I think so. I was pretty all in for Doge originally when that came out, but that was a bit of a disappointment. And the thing is, so I actually know some people who work for Doge or worked for Doge. I don't know if they're still there, but the issue was there was a split there. There was like office politics in there. There were the ones who are Trump loyalists who's like, okay, we are going to cut all the things that Trump doesn't like, but we are going to keep all of these programs that Trump want, that is like ideologically aligned with Trump, even if they're a waste of money. But then you had some who are like, wait, no, we need to be consistent about this. Yeah, we could leave some of these things, but we're just overspending on this. So it was like a lot of it was just like symbolic issues. So, I mean, yeah, Doge was a failure. The fallout with Elon Musk, Musk and Trump were already on borrowed time by February. I predicted that by June they'd have a falling out. They had a falling out before that. So, like, I think a lot of people saw that coming a mile away.
Any goodwill I
but-
had for Musk evaporated when he sided with foreigners over Americans. So
Oh yeah, no, I found it
That's
funny.
all I have to say about
The
him.
America Party, his whole thing, it's like a bunch of Indians.
I know.
yeah, that's what his priorities are.
Yes.
Well, I
yes.
mean,
Yeah, I
but
can't
look,
listen to
Elon
the
was
Democrat
Elon was
Party.
always a globalist, right? The only difference that sets him apart from others of his ilk is that he has a generally slightly more positive view of humanity in the sense of he thinks people should have babies, right?
That's good. Yeah. Well,
Otherwise-
that's
that's
fascist. That makes
Right.
you a fascist if you want
That's
to have
right,
babies.
right? But
By
at
that
the end of the day,
definition,
he's
global
still a globalist. He
he's
still
not.
wants globalistic
He's
things.
still a transhumanist too.
Yes, and he's always been that. Like that's never been that's something that he's hid. And I think a lot of people got on the train of MAGA in the sense of they really deluded themselves into thinking that he was going to be a nationalist.
No, he never was. He
I
never
know,
was gonna
right?
be.
And it's like
Well-
imagine my shock when he turns out to be a globalist still, right? Like who
Yeah,
would have
Yeah.
thought?
He's basically again a transhumanist pseudo techno libertarian type. That's basically the best way to describe him.
Also a whore.
Imagine
Yeah,
my shock. Imagine my
the-
shock
the-
that this son of a South African blood diamond merchant, who's probably not even here legally, is a globalist.
I thought it was hilarious when Steve Bannon was talking, got into his beef with Elon and was saying we need to deport Elon.
hey, I'm with him. Get him out of here. And
Actually, I'm okay with that.
We also
Seize his
take his
assets
money.
too.
yeah,
No, it was funny. So I was at
Why would we seize his
CPAC.
assets?
because
Give 'em to
they're in America and
Americans.
they belong to us. Okay, he shouldn't have come here.
How
if he
do we
didn't want to
seize his
fucking seize.
assets? Simple, by
We-
shooting him.
Exactly.
Not
Well,
in real
not
life.
really.
In
Fake
Minecraft.
posting
In
really
Minecraft. In
fast.
Minecraft. In Minecraft.
So yeah, no. So it's funny. I was at CPAC, like I said earlier, in February, and this is when Elon and Bannon were beefing hard. So Steve Bannon had a party at the bar across from the Gaylord Hotel in National Harbor, and then
Very suspicious.
Elon Musk held a counter party, a competing party
Okay,
At a-
I know he's
at a-
autistic, but
at a
Jesus
DC
Christ.
no,
He's
at
not
a
just autistic, he's egotistical.
at a DC road, like at a DC like row house, or I think it was in Georgetown. I had some friends who went there. But yeah, no. So it was basically Elon decided to throw a party just to compete with Bannon's.
And it's probably
I-
filled
like,
with
I-
Indians, so
Jesus.
it's probably gross too. Imagine the smell.
Oh no, so yeah.
What needs to be made with Elon is that, yeah, he was still in his experimental libertarian days. He might be ready in 3 years when he's radicalized enough, but he's not.
I don't know,
He's just not
because
ready.
even if he moves to a more like centrist position, it's still an inherently liberal
Fuck centric.
position.
It's
He is a
centric.
liberal.
It's, well, I'm saying it's even like the vast majority of conservatives are inherently operating within the liberal framework of being, right?
Right.
Yes.
And it's
Yes,
and
exactly.
that's the frustrating thing is that no matter where you turn, it's all just liberalism. It's liberalism.
Yes.
It's all fucking
Yep.
liberalism. And it's like, and if you go outside that dynamic, people look at you like you're a crazy person.
Yes.
You know, you say, let's bring back public executions, and they're
Exactly.
like, oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes. You
that's
realize better than
that's kind of
most.
strange, buddy. It's like, yeah, it is.
You
and
do
it's
seem
better.
to realize better than most that liberalism has completely failed as a concept.
Yes, it
All
is.
you
It
need to
is.
do-
It's because it's a negative doctrine, and it is inherently anti-metaphysics, and it just absolutely
Yes.
just fell apart, right?
The
I
idea
forgot you
that
said
is-
this. It was like
idea that-
liberalism is moral syphilis for civilization.
It really is. Well, because it is. So if we look at liberalism as an outgrowth of Anglo Sharia, right, then it's just completely divorced from the time and the place and the people which developed it, right, which was a organic cultural outgrowth of the English. And
Jesus
now you
Christ.
have
Yes.
trying to apply it to Indians, and you're like, why isn't it working?
Right.
Why don't they understand my argumentation? It's like,
Because it's a
they're not
totally different
like
culture.
us.
It's a totally
Yeah,
different
why
people
does an
don't
80 IQ
understand.
Pakistani who believes in Sharia law and that like you should be able to marry a 1-year-old believe in
Like-
like English liberalism?
It's
Oh,
like,
well, no
liberalism
shit.
works.
No shit.
liberalism,
Yeah,
liberalism,
this idea that we need to debate ideas with people who are dumber with us it's
But
been
like
all
liberalism works great if everybody's like 130 IQ.
A homogenized
Anglo.
society, you know.
Like if we were all, you know, like
Basically
if we were all
Japan.
like,
Because like literally what the Whig liberals like imagined when they were discussing these ideas, they thought that they would be discussed in Parliament by
Yes.
people who are of high of like 130 IQ, autist,
really, no, exactly,
good
exactly,
faith
and
people.
it's been something that's been applied to the masses in a facet that it's like this, it just doesn't work,
The thing
and
is
it's
that
almost
they
a form of
never-
imperialism. if
they never
I'm quite
accounted-
honest.
They never accounted for how hard direct democracy would be pushed on modern republics.
Yes.
They never thought that 1913 would happen. They never
Yeah.
thought that the 17th Amendment.
Okay, so we're going to go to
Before
Sorry.
we get demonetized,
So
we're
I'm going to
gonna
pull up
go
another
to a
article,
different
one that
topic.
is written by a third party. No, it's still the same. It's still the same topic, but we're going to go to a very, very bad outlet called Mother Jones. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Mother Jones.
No, I don't read stop.
So,
Am I going to start growing
It's
breasts
like
yeah,
after
6 months
this?
in,
boomer
Trump has made American
feminism.
life immeasurably worse. So, dismantling the federal government. Yeah, dismantling the government, yanking support for poor and working class Americans, and emboldening extremism, which, I mean, I think everybody is an extremist now, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Even you.
Any president, okay? Trump claimed in
Except
a
for
Truth
Trump.
Social
Trump's
rant.
not an extremist.
House
so
Speaker
everyone's
Mike
upset with him.
Johnson claimed in a post on X just 6 months. Yeah. No, but Trump's second term, he says, making America safer, stronger, more prosperous. I beg to differ in some ways. But then the author just says, despite ample evidence to the contrary, and then doesn't go into that at all. But let's get on to the big beautiful bill part. So his so-called big beautiful bill is expected to explode the deficit to 3.4 trillion. That's one reason I do not like it personally. According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, and kick 10 million off of their health insurance, defund Planned Parenthood, which poor women disproportionately use to access service such as cancer screening and birth control. No, here's the thing. Do you know what the moderate compromise for Planned Parenthood is? And it's actually very easy to solve. Just
I'm not funding it.
No,
destroy the organization.
At least in terms of being
burn it down.
I'd love to cut off all funding to Planned Parenthood. But I think the moderate, fair solution would be, okay, let's defund Planned Parenthood and cut the funding based on the percentage of what goes towards abortions. So
I don't think there is. I really don't think there is a
works.
Moderate compromise for that, because you're essentially taking what is almost 55-45 split of people who are not in favor of abortion versus in favor of abortion.
Exactly.
You're still making them pay for it with their tax dollars. You're still funding it fundamentally, which is something that I'm totally anti-abortion, but if there is to be any, it should not be funded by the government, period.
I agree.
How divisive of an issue it is.
No, I agree. I think we should cut off funding. We should cut off funding entirely. There's no reason why the government should be subsidizing it. And I think it's a moral conundrum too, or not even a conundrum. It's morally reprehensible that you have some people who you have people who are against abortion specifically. Most of the time is for religious reasons, but basically the government is forcing them to use their taxpayer money to fund something that they morally disagree with. There's something really dubious about that. It's just not right.
There's no room for it, because not even that. Even if you get away from the religious part of it, it's fundamentally Planned Parenthood is a eugenics organization. It was founded under Margaret Sanger, who is a eugenicist that wanted to sterilize black people and kill black babies.
Exactly.
And fundamentally, it's too poison pilled. It's overexposed too much. Just do away with it. There's no point that our tax dollars should be going towards something with that terrible of a history, for one, and for two, an organization that's responsible for the chief reason why more black babies are aborted than are born. It's horrific.
Yeah, the fact that we're not even debating the part that they should be shut down for the reprehensible behavior alone is a moderate position.
How about the fact they harvest babies for
or
parts,
the fact that there are that I've personally spoken
Yeah.
I've personally spoken to people who have had abortions done by Planned Parenthood, and one specifically was molested by the workers there, and it's after she had already been raped, right? And it's at a certain point, it's just too cooked. It's just too cooked.
They should be shut down for all sorts of secondary reasons.
I guess one thing that we're not discussing is merely just shutting down Planned Parenthood is the moderate position, because the extreme position.
That's my exact
really
point.
is.
That's my
Exactly.
exact point.
No,
Yeah, the extreme
that's what the
position
thing is.
is
Putting them on trial.
Right, putting them on trial, which they probably should be anyway.
Yes, they should.
For
Yes, they
mismanagement and
should
murder.
be executed too.
And what a lot of people didn't realize when people were complaining about, oh my God, they got rid of Roe v. Wade back. So this was back 2022. They're saying, oh, they got rid of Roe v. Wade. This is such a right-wing thing. It's no, they're leaving it up to the states. That is legitimately the moderate position.
Yes, they don't understand, and the actual
far right
conservative
position is a national ban. The far right position is a national and
it's a national ban, and trying doctors, and then people that organize these things. That's the hardline position.
Yeah,
the correct
and
position.
I think that a lot of these people, a lot of these normie tier default libs would actually lose their minds if they spoke to a real an actual traditionalist or an actual conservative, and not someone who's just a default lib.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you have a drop of testosterone in your veins, you should not care what people think about your morality and your positions. Moderate, extreme, or whatever.
It happens when you become a parent too. There's just there's no room for it's just childish. Everything else is just noise.
Yes, exactly. You should be thinking about what the right thing to do is and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, here's the so Trump and Doge's dismantling of the federal government has undermined the future of the federal workforce. Good.
Yeah.
Gun offices include those that promote healthy pregnancies, combat human trafficking, track gun injuries, work to prevent intimate partner violence, just to name a few examples. Doge has also effectively abolished USA. That's good. Okay,
Amazing.
So, like, here's the thing: a lot of
Fantastic.
people. So when I was in DC, like the day after this, like USAID was disbanded, there were like protests in the middle of the night about it, and I guarantee you, like, very few of those people actually know like what USAID even did. Like, they just see, oh no, Trump is dismantling this agency, and Rachel Maddow told me that I should be angry. Like, the thing is, with a lot of people these days, and this exists on both the right and the left, people don't know why they support the positions that they do. Like, for instance, do you think that the average liberal voter actually knows and has a well thought out reason of why they are against defunding the Department of Education, which doesn't do anything anyway? Like, that's not even going to have an impact on public schools as it is. But like,
Well, I mean,
the only reason, no,
Yeah, they
it's a
do.
cultural. It's become a
That's not even-
cultural
that's not even
issue.
vaguely
It's not
true.
policy. It's not about policy anymore. It's just it's about vibes. It's about whatever.
Well,
your
it's more
side
so
supports.
tribe. 80% of people
No.
are just going to vote with their tribe. You know.
Exactly.
That's basically how
Okay.
it works. You know.
You gotta put a
Also,
dollar in the tip in
I-
the jar for saying vibes.
Also, by the way,
So-
JR, you're completely incorrect on your assumptions for the Department of Education. They actually do a lot.
Yeah, they impose all sorts of standards for testing curriculums, what you can and can't do with homeschooling.
They're literally educating the future
They-
Leon Trotskys of
A
the
lot of
world,
the
you know?
a lot of the homeschooling regs come from states, though. I will say.
Yes, the so-called banning of books in like the school systems comes from the Fed.
No, but when I was saying that they don't do much, what I mean is that if you get rid of the Department of Education, it's not going to have any bearing on the quality or lack thereof of public schools. That's what I mean.
Wrong.
Also,
It
wrong.
will within a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So
The
wait,
biggest
you're-
thing
you're-
the
wait, you're-
biggest thing is
you're
going to
pro-
be
wait.
one, you get rid of the Department of Education.
You're pro
right?
Department of Education?
No, we're saying that getting rid of it will actually improve education by
Yes,
having
exactly.
it stop and,
Yeah.
and putting regulations on state and county schools. Like, it needs to go. It's what put us 40th in the world.
But there'll be a lag to it. Like, it's not going to instantly make schools better, but it
Yeah.
will open the doors to start getting rid
Yeah.
of a lot of the rot.
Also,
That's
you need to
in-
have like
in these places.
ideological tests for teachers. They can't be just like proto-progressive.
I honestly think the one thing you could do is just get rid of the teachers union, and it would be out within.
Oh no, we need to
within a couple years.
agree.
we need to call a pogrom on teachers unions, unironically.
Which sucks because or how about this? I don't necessarily mind the idea of unions, right? What I dislike are national and state unions that get too big and become organizations and activist organizations.
Yes,
in
no,
themselves.
exactly. No,
If
public
it's,
sector.
if it's for like a school district, right? I could care less. But it's when it gets beyond that school district and it's a national or state, like a state teachers union that's, Detroit teachers are deciding what teachers in Munising do.
Right, and they turn into
and
There's
that's the
also-
issue.
One of the
Side
biggest
union
things, and then it's
policy.
also there's a conflict of interest there too, because first of all, public sector unions, they are federal employees. They are donating to politics. So it's a public sector union donating to candidates to go into federal office that will basically end up supporting their interests. And again, it is a conflict of interest because
Yeah, the whole thing has to go because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, so private sector, it's like say what you want about their effectiveness or lack thereof, but that is voluntary association. That is private collective bargaining. That's totally fine. But the thing is, private or public sector unions are, first of all, they are corrupt. I can't think of a single public sector union that doesn't have corruption problems.
I mean, they're
It's especially
basically
true of
all
teachers
just
unions,
tools
but-
for the Democrat Party and the left.
Exactly. No,
Our enemies.
exactly.
That's all they fucking are.
So if anything, like what we need to start with is outlawing them from being able to make campaign donations or donate into PACs, because that's what it is. It is a machine. It's part of it's part of the democratic apparatus at this point.
It serves our enemies and therefore it should be destroyed. It should be destroyed.
Also, like
Yeah,
I mean, also
it's-
the teachers unions have managed to out Vatican the Vatican, because basically, if you have a teacher who like diddles a little kid, the teachers unions are in the business of protecting teachers and their jobs no matter what it is, even if it is to the detriment of students.
Well, just look at the
No,
stats
basically,
of it.
no.
What is
So
it,
basically, if you have a pet, like a teacher who diddles a kid, they're just going to move them to another school district quietly.
Yes.
That's basically what the Roman Catholic Church would do to some priest too. Like, there's no difference. I mean, in fact, you are 10 times more likely to get molested by a teacher than you are by a Catholic priest too.
What is it, like
But,
40, like 24,000 instances of impropriety each year from public school teachers?
Oh
Not to
yeah, no,
mention
it's probably
all the
more than
molesting.
that. There's because there's so much that's unreported too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's horrible.
So yeah,
The amount
okay.
of molestations in public school absolutely dwarf anything that the Jews are doing.
Let's keep it let's
keep
not
it monetizable.
let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Am I wrong?
No. But
No.
speaking of USAID, I'm going to tell
They are
a
need
funny
to make
story.
money too, okay?
They always
Yeah.
call you a bigot. They never say you're wrong.
But either way, so my friend, I won't say his name, but my friend, you know him. He's also part of
Of course I
the
know him. He's me.
part of the organization.
The
American Leaders,
organization.
but yes,
Okay.
it's the same historical society we're a part of. But
Okay.
yeah, no, but either way, so he and I ended up back in February. This was during the day after USAID was shut down. We ended up going to the USAID building, and we ended up taking a picture in front of it, both of us in suits, smoking cigars. So that was the picture in front of it. And then I ended up, submitting it to a picture contest for Murray Rothbard's birthday, held by the Mises Institute, and I won because of that picture. They sent me a free shirt. So
I beat USAID, and all I got was this shirt.
yeah, no, but USAID's useless.
USAID was
also.
literally funding transgender clinics.
Yes, they were.
In
No, it was-
Pakistan.
it was
not
Literally
even kidding.
CIA color revolutions, dude.
They
Yeah,
were
literally.
They were funneling ideological programs. And,
It was basically
yeah.
like diddling little kids in like third
The
world
point was to
countries.
destroy other countries with globalist policies.
Yeah, importing the cancer basically.
Yes, because the Pakistanis need skateboards for lesbians or something.
And the Africans,
They
they
trip
need
on
they
their
need birth
hijabs
control.
or whatever.
We need to give them as much birth control as possible. So,
Oh god.
yeah,
That's a Bill Gates talking point, actually.
Yeah,
That's
I
a Bill
know.
Gates talking-
Yeah, do
But
you
so,
have a
okay.
weird gut?
So researchers also estimate the cuts could lead to another 14 million deaths by 20. Who are these researchers? They're not even saying who these researchers are.
Well, you have to
Um,
understand another big thing too. Or no, I'm sorry, we're in a different article. Never mind.
They
It's
won't
another
mention them
joke.
because they're wrong.
Yeah, have you seen the girl who's writing it? She looks like she's in her 50s, like childless,
Let's examine
miserable.
her. Let's examine.
This is a
Miserable.
childless 50-year-old who's like
Yeah, literally, she
on
literally
some
is the
serious
yeah
PMS.
PMS. Yeah.
Well, she can't be PMS. Can't be PMSing if she's 50. Okay, she's already lost it.
Like no eggs. It's just this,
Maybe
like
she-
No,
totally.
it's all it's menopause. She's getting a hot flash.
This
She's
is
upset
devolving
that
into
Chad
like,
left her like 20 years ago, and like she's
This
just
is-
miserable and alone.
yeah, this is devolving rapidly into Madman-esque like insults against women.
And
Okay,
I'll insult more of them. This menopause. Look.
you're like the
Floor of her
Uncle
uterus,
Ruckus of
the
women.
floor of her uterus fell out. Okay, and it's showing.
She hit the wall.
You better be glad Aiden ain't
She's
here, 'cause
50. Of course, she hit the wall.
my
I
God,
Beppis,
you
Beppis,
hit the
Beppis,
wall,
are you aware?
fucking Ralph the wall.
No, I was about to say Beppis is the Uncle Ruckus of women, basically.
No, I'm not. I love women. Women are the best, the greatest, as long as they agree with me on everything.
Where they're not
So-
destroying
okay,
civilization.
As long as they agree with me, I'm fine with women.
You better
But,
be glad Aiden isn't here because she hates women.
No, I love
Where is
women.
it? Did you ever message her?
Yes, I did. She did not respond.
Now, do I
Okay.
hate? Now, do I
Totally.
dislike the social trends that have taken over and destroyed women? Yeah,
Yes.
I hate them, but I don't hate women for being women. I think there's some lovely women out there, but I think
Yes,
as a
of course.
whole, things are very cooked in a lot of ways, culturally speaking, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that women are social creatures. that
Yeah.
are subject to peer pressure, and the one way to make women more normal is by being as a woman is by being as vocal as possible about these things, because it will pressure other women into thinking, oh, okay, I can be more normal about this, because most women
Okay,
are just like
we're
default
getting a little
norms.
off. We're getting a little off topic. We can talk about this after the stream, but
Yeah, of course.
we need to get going. But okay, so here's one that I actually agree, believe it or not, with them on. So ICE agents have kidnapped student protesters, unlawful residents. A lot of them, like if you remember it was a speech related thing. Like what was it? There was the one guy who got deported just because he was at a pro-Palestine protest. Like, look, I think pro-Palestine is cringe.
Well, that's
like, I
the
don't like
tiny
Israel.
hat influence
But-
right
cringe.
there.
It's
But-
retarded.
That's just
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
fucking
still,
yeah.
either way,
Cringe.
hold on. So, harass the volunteers who support immigrants and snatch asylum seekers after court hearings. So here's one thing: the staggering increase in ICE funding outlined in the recent Republican spending bill is set to make all that worse. I 100%
Based.
agree with that. I would okay. So here's my
So
when
can you prove
regarding
to me that,
ICE.
like, that's even happening.
Here's the thing. When a lot of people, and so this goes back to what I was talking about at Doge earlier. So some of the people I knew who worked at Doge, they were trying, but they were like, okay, we need to actually cut funding for ICE because it is overfunded. Now that has nothing to do with like lowering border security or not caring about immigration, but it has to do with the Department of Homeland Security, which started by George W. Bush. That ended up leading to the creation of so many agencies that are unnecessary to be agencies on their own, that could just as easily be rolled back. Their prerogatives could just be as easily be put under another agency. Like, for instance, the DEA has no reason to exist. Its prerogatives should be rolled back into like the FBI or something.
Yeah, I don't
For
disagree
instance,
with any of that.
ICE should be totally abolished, and its prerogatives should be given to the U.S. Marshal Service or the U.S.
Right.
Marshals.
I
No,
agree
they
with
should be
all of-
given to Border Patrol. It should be a
Or yeah,
subsidiary
no,
of
Border Patrol too. Yeah,
Right, and I agree
Them
with
too,
all
yeah.
those sentiments. But the point is that the job still has to be done, and therefore whoever does it needs to be funded. In fact, they need to be grown significantly because there weren't nearly enough of them to deport fast enough. Because
Because there's just like so many millions of these people.
Not
in our
only that, like
country.
you
There
can
could
later
be
on
easily-
after the fact merge ICE and Border Patrol into one
Right.
admin, right? But no matter
Absolutely.
what, you still need bodies on the ground to do the job. It doesn't necessarily matter what
Right.
what department they're a part of. Like, we can restructure things later, but in the meantime, we still need to operate within the tools that we have.
Yes. Do not forget that Trump is working with the limited tools of an absolutely convoluted bureaucratic mess of a government. And yes, I agree entirely. During the Biden administration, 2 agencies were being wound up every day. It was like 1,500 in a year or something like that. It was absolutely insane, and it creates this endless tree branch of like fronts of government organizations doing things that we still to this day don't know what they've been doing because we can't follow the paper trail yet. It's too long. It's just it's literally, the government is literally too big to understand. It's too big to understand.
It's also filled with our enemies
By
for
design.
cutting.
Yes, by design. They're designed to hide the activities of our direct enemies. And yes, they absolutely do need to absolutely be wound down. But at least for the moment, we have control over ICE, growing it to do the job and using it as
It's now
as
as
a
funny
wrench.
as the U.S. Marine Corps, which is actually impressive. It's actually
Yeah, I would recommend.
I will also say, I just
Brad,
think
I would strongly recommend that you see these things as tools, as a wrench to turn a knob, and then you throw it away and melt it down into something else later.
Another way, so it says, so here's another one that I actually, that is objectively correct. The administration has enacted an assault on rural America. Well, I think that's a little loaded to say that, but what they say next is accurate. Trump's
okay.
big beautiful bill could lead to 140 rural hospitals to close. That is correct. I did end up reading that. His ever shifting tariff proposals have thrown farmers into a whiplash. Objectively true.
Okay.
The
Okay, we
department.
gotta
One
talk
minor
about-
point
We gotta,
about the
we gotta cut you,
farmers.
stop you there.
Okay, if the farmers' interests are against American workers, I don't care about the farmers. Fuck the farmers if they're not for America and American workers. If they
Well,
want to
why
be
wouldn't they be?
selfish,
Like, what is that? What I mean, they're
if they're
entire
for
job.
like
Because
legal
they're corporate
immigrants
farms.
over
Oh,
Americans,
okay, that's what you mean. Okay, you should have specified that.
when they're prioritizing illegals over Americans, and their own personal financial interest over the country. I don't care about them as a political class.
Although, to be fair, that's a bit of a messy situation because there were some of these corporations were literally bullied by the Biden administration to take thousands of illegals.
Yeah, some of them are definitely in a bind, but sucks, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sucks,
think-
sucks for
Sucks
Tyson,
to
I
be
guess.
them, I guess.
Sucks to be
Um,
Tyson.
Yeah, friend-enemy distinction.
Yeah.
I mean, for
But, okay,
me,
so we're gonna
I
skip.
sympathize at least somewhat with the
Yeah, of
small-time
course.
farmers.
Oh,
Because,
absolutely.
like, they
Small-time
literally
farmers,
struggle to make
100%.
ends meet.
Not corporate
It's
farms though.
Corporate farms,
Absolutely
fuck
not.
them.
Well, like,
Hey,
one question-
BlackRock, Larry Fink, yeah,
Oh yeah, fuck
they
them.
can all go to hell.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Bill
the
Gates.
corporate farms. The reason corporate farms are
They're an
basically
abomination.
basically have the kind of power that they do in terms of like agriculture. The percentage of agriculture that they do control. It's purely because of rent seeking. It's very similar to how you have these property management firms. So this is a classic bootlegger in the Baptist situation.
The concept
These
of
property management firms. Well, so property management firms,
I really hate
which
it when people get louder when they think they're being stepped on.
so these property management firms that actually lobby for rent control because it hurts small-time landlords. And yes, even though it hurts them in the short term, in the long term, they basically will end up having a monopoly or an oligopoly on housing, and so you won't have as many mom and pop landlords there. Like that's all it is. And then the people who support rent control, they're just useful idiots at this point. So I mean it's basically a similar situation with like big agriculture too. So they're trying to screw over the smaller farmers by rent seeking. So.
And there's the major problem that 70% of farms in the United States do not use regenerative farming; they use industrial farming, and
Yes.
they're creating enormous.
And
amounts
they're
of
growing
nitrate
like
runoff.
soy and corn to make for cattle. They're not
Yes.
growing actual like productive crops humans can eat. So that's another
Yes,
major
they're
issue.
wasting huge amounts of crop land to make things that we don't need.
And the
So, like,
problem with
pri-
like soy and corn is that it's a very like nutrient dense crop, and it just uses up all of the fucking nutrients in the
Yes.
soil and doesn't give back anything.
right,
So
and
they end up
since they're not-
spraying. They end up spraying with fertilizer,
Right.
which leaches into the water and
Yeah.
absolutely destroys
Well,
it for smaller farms that are in
it's
the
just-
area.
Well,
it's
that
just
and
that it
another
destroys
issue. Another issue is just how much beef we waste because the USDA just fucking destroys it to keep
Yeah,
the
not to
price
mention
control.
milk.
I mean, they're famous for like throwing away potatoes during COVID, just because like
Yeah.
throwing away food,
And-
crops,
and-
you know.
And they
It's a multifaceted issue on many levels, and supply chain is one of the biggest issues. Like you need to be able to get
Yes.
so many
Remember-
things in a timely fashion, and when it's bigger, it becomes like the logistics of like you have like hundreds of thousands of cattle that are being slaughtered within X amount of time, and then getting that meat to a certain place so it doesn't rot, and then processed and blah 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 blah. It's like it just gets too big
yeah, don't
to
not
manage
men-
properly, and there's so much waste because of it.
Yes.
Not to mention that the USDA had 120 million chickens killed to prevent the spread of a bird flu strain that they created through gain of function research. in
Function
Atlanta.
research
Yeah,
again.
literally, yeah.
Dude,
Like the
You know-
actual conspiracy theorists need to be given $1,000 each.
They were literally proven.
No,
like,
they're not
completely
conspiracy
correct,
theorists.
you
They're
know. It's a fact.
Honestly-
conspiracy. They're
Truthist,
conspiracy
you're
realists.
right.
truth is
You're right. yes. Yes. They, all,
Conspiracy empiricists. They are
they need to all be like they need to be hired by the government as oracles.
They should give me specifically a big tax break because of it.
Yes. No taxes
At
for the rest
this
of my
point-
life.
At this point, you would probably be able to solve a whole bunch of these problems by just doing some reform in the USDA. That's it.
Dude, I need to be paid to ponder my orb.
So next, this one's stupid. Trump has emboldened political violence and extremists from his first day back in office when he pardoned nearly 1,600 people who participated in the Boomer Hall Putsch. Administration-
wish-
ISIS fault.
I
It's ISIS
wish
fault,
he
the
did
criminals.
that.
I
Actually,
wish he did too. Like, I wish that Trump was half the authoritarian these people whinge about.
I
him
really
being.
wish he was.
Yeah, I
Like-
think I'm for being moderate.
He is
He's been very
such.
reasonable.
He's like the peak boomer lib.
He's too moderate and weak.
He
for my
really is,
opinion.
and that's I think what so many people like. They would poop their pants if they had to talk like. Not to like talk up the Zoomer waffen, but like there's a reason it exists, right?
Just shoot
And it's
rioters,
becoming
dude.
stronger and stronger and stronger because of stuff like this.
See, here's the thing. The
You know,
Zoomers will do it.
I actually learned that the average Zoomer is now much further to the right than like the average 90-year-old.
I saw like a 20-year-old. I saw like a 20-year. I went to the mom and pop version of like an A&W, like a Sonic the other day. And there was I shit you not, there was like a 20-year-old dude with a black sun tattoo all over his arm, and I'm like, okay, we're here. We're here, man.
We're here. Oh my god.
I'm like pointing to my husband. I'm like, I told you the Zoomer Waffen was real. I told you.
Yeah, Pew Research just released new findings on current polling, and 18 to 29 men are plus 44.
No, it's
plus
actually super
44.
bifurcated. Gen Z men
It really
are like
is.
the most far right ever, but women going off
the
a
thing,
cliff.
the
You're
sucky
going
part
off
is
a
that
cliff.
the sucky part is that even fascism is just another outgrowth of fucking liberalism. And
Yes,
so
it
we're
is. No,
still
it's
trapped.
part of it is-
We're
I mean,
still
that's
trapped
true.
in the
The
rat
Enlightenment,
cage.
no, the Enlightenment triad is liberalism, socialism, and fascism.
Which is why we need to
But-
return to monarchy. Which is why we
I'm kind of like
No,
right
don't be
there
gay
with you,
somewhere
man.
else.
I'm kind of right there
Man,
with you. Like
I'm not
this
in the mood. I'm
I
not
mean,
in
we
the
need great man
mood of
theory.
Hey,
like
No.
hey,
supporting
guys, no
Bargain
talking over
Bin
each other.
Joffrey, okay?
No talking over each other.
Hey, we can hear
One
each
at
other.
a time.
It's fine.
All right. My problem with monarchy. I don't want to support fucking Bargain Bin Joffrey Baratheon.
We're not.
Right?
We're not having a discussion on monarchy right now. All right.
Yeah. Why did you
Um,
bring that
so-
up?
Man,
So
let
this is
me
what's
just make
this
my
is what's
show.
interesting right here, because it's basically, so Mother Jones is now defending the Department of Homeland Security.
God bless.
Also, are we just gonna forget about all the times the left literally just goes on terrorist acts all the fucking time?
Okay, it doesn't
in
count
this
when they do
country?
it because they're brave freedom fighters. So
Yeah, it actually
that's
doesn't
where
count
you're
when our
at.
guys do it, you know, because our
Which
guys
I
are
actually do
getting-
agree. I actually do agree with that to a certain extent, but like for my ideals.
Exactly, it's friend-enemy distinction. That's all that means, you know.
Yeah.
So
I just think
okay,
it
he
should
also
be
shut
like-
down the Office of Gun Violence Prevention in order to roll
Good.
back of firearm regulations.
You should abolish the
Yeah, the
ATF.
Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Like, first of all, there are already laws in place that do it. Like, there doesn't need to be an office for that. The thing is, that's just waste right there. That's
Yes.
just waste. That's what it was about. It has not. That has nothing to do. Like,
That's
Trump is
literally
for
just a
Trump-
government
Trump is
jobs
for gun
program.
control. Trump did more to advance the gun control agenda than Obama did, which is ironic, really, if you think about it. Like, Trump was
You
more.
mean because of bump stock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the bump stock ban. Yeah, but then so we also have.
He's
Trump
very
and his
neutral. I think otherwise he's pretty neutral on guns, which is a negative feature. But again, it's just more evidence of
He
his
needs
how
to be
much of
more-
a moderate he actually is.
Yeah, he needs to support guns more.
Or he needs to not stand in the way of the states ripping
Yeah, I
apart
agree.
this legislation.
Yes. Are you okay?
Mhm.
What
No,
about-
I'm not okay.
Are you dead?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Is it just heard
I
you yell
died
guys
30
and, like,
minutes
nothing
ago,
happened?
man.
So wait, did I cut off?
Yes.
You must have.
All right. So now we're going to go to the Hill, specifically talking about the Trump economy right here.
I forget.
I am
what
at my
those-
old
are they
apartment.
more,
This is my last night at my old apartment. So
Are they more
You're
of a
gonna
right wing
disagree
or a
about
left
tariff.
wing?
No, they're just a libertarian, like,
Even
90s.
worse. You know, I'm
you guys
actually
hear
at
me
the
now?
point. Yes.
They're journalists. They're all more left wing than us.
do you guys hear me now?
yes,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yes.
You're going through a tunnel.
Are you doing that thing where you pace up and down your hallway again?
Are you going to 7-Eleven? Are you
Is it
going to get
going
locked
to
out of the
you,
stream
Robert
and
Jack?
leave one of us in charge as you
is
go
it
to
go-
7-Eleven and then we transform things into a different discussion entirely?
Is he going to 7-Eleven or is he going to 7th Heaven?
Who knows? I mean, Slurpees are pretty good.
No,
If
imagine
only
the
they were made-
smell. They're all run by Pajeets, and
Yeah.
low-caste
Man,
Indians.
hey man, if
It's
you can
all
just
fucking
put that
horrible,
out of
man.
sight, out of mind, and enjoy
So
your,
you're saying
know,
is they
Pretty
all
hard
need
to
to
have
wear
it out of
masks.
sight when I can literally smell them like a block away.
you gotta pretend that it smells different, and then go get a Slurpee.
They all have
You're
to
telling
wear
me
the
you don't
like.
want the. You're telling me you don't want the 7-Eleven brand egg salad sandwich.
I don't like eggs.
Oh no! Oh, we gotta take away your man card.
What do you mean?
You gotta learn
man?
to like eggs, buddy, or
Hey.
you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, man. You can subsist on eggs. You just got a couple chickens, and then you just eat the eggs they give you.
Yes. find a way. Find a like. What I don't care how you like your eggs. That's fine. Just do that.
Do you like any type of
And he
egg?
dropped out. Fucking dropped out.
Do you like
Yeah,
any type
I
of
like-
egg?
Do you like
I
egg
do.
drop soup?
Like what?
Yeah. Like egg drop soup.
There you
The
go.
type of eggs that you have on various Japanese dishes.
I thought you were gonna say the type of eggs that you'll have on toast. All of them.
All of them.
No. What do you think I am, gay?
Hey, man. Well, but are we talking like the century eggs,
Oh no.
or like cured
Oh,
eggs,
God, no.
pickled eggs?
Oh
What
no.
type
I
of
had,
eggs
Ah.
do the Asiatics enjoy?
I had a college roommate that
Asiatic.
used to.
They like fried
Asiatics?
eggs, you know.
I love
The
walking
Georgians?
back to I love walking back into 1897.
What type of the Oriental folk? They enjoy the eggs.
The yellow
mystical
people.
East.
Don't say a slur. Don't say a slur.
He's just pointing out their color.
Yeah.
Hey, no. I
What
get
do
that.
the funny butt beat people like on their eggs?
No, I mean it. I mean it. Like sometimes they'll
Ah.
even eat raw eggs.
Bruh,
You know,
I had a
I don't know,
Filipino
it's
college
probably just
roommate
the
who
way-
ate duck
it's
eggs
probably
raw.
just the way it's prepared.
Duck
because
eggs raw,
sometimes
bro.
it's scrambled,
Oh my god.
sometimes it's
So
fried, sometimes it's pickled.
at like, you know how they have like baby showers or whatever, where you like the people gather to celebrate the pregnancy.
Yes,
No.
quinceañeras, because they're Catholic.
Sure. Well, we had ours at like a Polish restaurant, right?
Oh my god.
And it was like a full bar. And one of a family friend, he started a trend. He got like a Polish breakfast, which is like a beer but with a raw egg cracked in it, and
Yeah.
all the men just started doing that. Started
should we take
drinking
over- Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't talk us too loud. The Polacks are everywhere.
Dude, I love pierogies. I love them so much. It's so yummy.
Oh yeah. There is
What's your favorite flavor of pierogi, JR?
sausage and.
All right, so
cheese.
we're gonna go back to.
No,
sorry
you
about
have
that.
to. You gotta answer.
I don't
You
know.
gotta answer.
I don't know. We're trying to stick.
Do you
on
like
this. I don't want
potato?
this to-
Do you like
We're
potato?
really trying to keep us on
Hey,
track. here.
Politicrat, do you like
Yes, I
potatoes?
do. Yes,
We're
I
just
do
like being
potatoes.
like children over here, and you're just
Hey
like,
man, it's
come
all
on.
about the entertainment value.
Yeah,
Who doesn't like a good sour?
it's either that or yell slurs. Like take
Hey,
a
I
pick.
agree.
I got so many of them here. you know, so-
We got good cheese bacon.
Okay,
pierogi.
so as I was saying before, I ended up getting cut off. This article from the Hill specifically focusing on economic policy, but so President Trump sailed into the White House last year on confidence in his ability to handle the economy following a 40-year high in inflation and deep-seated financial frustration among voters. That is actually that is really why he got elected. It was the inflation that was one of the biggest issues.
Yeah,
Because
the
at the
wallets.
end of the day, people just care about buying their groceries. Like there are issues. For instance, there are some people who don't have the luxury to care about abortion rights and like the trans stuff and all that. Like they're actually, especially in Middle America and the Rust Belt and stuff. But either way, here are the big economic hallmarks of the first 6 months of his second term: spending taxes, tariffs, deficits, markets, and the dollar, and how they could affect regular Americans. So yeah, the trade war. This is, I think, one of the biggest blunders that he's been doing. Like, he's always been pro-tariff, even though, of course, tariffs, protectionism bad. But
Yeah, but
so he's
you know it's
massive-
more complicated than that, right?
yeah, I know it's more complicated than that. But at the same, so reciprocal tariffs are one thing, using it as leverage. But Trump is trigger happy when it comes to tariff. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for.
What do you mean there's no rhyme and reason?
I
Trump,
think that
with
it's
tariffs?
completely
Yeah, what are you
He's,
strategic.
talking about?
he's inconsistent. He's always
You're not going to win this
flip-flopping.
one with us.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's
every
the
move
point.
he's- Yeah, every move he's taken has been a
Part of the
strategic
deal,
move
baby!
to use the tariffs as a bludgeoning tool to make people do what he wants.
Yes, the fact that 85% of our domestic GDP is produced here. We don't actually import that much stuff. For example, the 5%. Let's see, 5%. The rest is the world outside of Canada and Mexico, and those two together, they're 10%. They don't have any leverage against us, which means we can just threaten them with 50% tariffs on literally anything, and they basically break down into crying babies because we can do it. and we could survive it, and it would cause us almost no damage.
It's one of the most successful cudgels. It's one of the most successful cudgels we've had against the liberal economic order since its inception.
Disagree with it if
Post
you
World War
want.
II consensus.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing though. It's one thing to put tariffs on China and to use that as leverage on China, but Canada.
Yes.
Canada,
yes,
no.
they need to fall in. You realize that Canada has essentially become a puppet state, and that is like, being eaten out from the inside.
It's a vassal.
By China.
I mean, it's been a vassal
by
for several
China.
decades.
By China.
Yeah, with China and India, literally.
Yes, like quite literally, China and India, are buying up. Like China specifically is buying up swaths of Canada. Like,
they're doing that.
They've basically taken over British Columbia.
We need
so
Canada.
It's specifically Vancouver. So Vancouver and even down into Seattle also. Just that swath up there in the Pacific Northwest. They're buying up like single family homes. They're sending their spies there too. They're sending their spies there, pretending to be green card holders to get to go to school. Like most of these, like a lot of the college students you see who are foreign exchange students from China are actually on the payroll of the CCP here to steal our intellectual property. And
that's why Canada, more than any other nation on the planet, like the Anglosphere countries especially, need to all fall in line behind us, like ASAP. And then all of us collectively, as an Anglosphere, then beat Europe into submission and then go at China. That needs to be the goal. And if that's not the goal, it's Jover.
It really is.
You know, there's a very quick way to actually achieve all this.
Empire 2 Electric Boogaloo, but the US is in charge this time.
Chinese Exclusion Act.
I agree. That would be great. And in any country that falls under our sphere of influence, it should be illegal for China to buy land in those countries.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, none of the tariffs ever.
We need to wage economic apartheid on China. That's what we
do.
need to
I agree.
do.
I agree. Yeah.
And the fact that people
we also need to assert dominance over the Strait of Malacca. Like the thing is, the Middle East, and the Near East, like that.
I would say the same thing with Middle Eastern countries.
We don't need to be investing in Ukraine. The Middle East, like that's not where where those resources should go. It should go into East Asia, specifically like into the Indochina, that region.
Well, here's the thing though. We already have supremacy over the Straits of Malacca because Singapore is already a close ally of us and has a navy base there for us.
And basically every nation state in the region hates China, so they'll work with us on it.
Yeah, because China's literally eating all the fish out of the sea.
Well, not only that, and this is a big thing that I feel because of like the liberalism that we keep touching upon. Mm-hmm. We really, because of the way our politics have been for so long, it's really easy to ignore the fact that there's massive racial tensions in that region, and that all the other Asian ethnic groups despise the Han's Chinese because of the horrific imperialism they've been laying down upon all the other nations in that region. And it would behoove us to play that up in negotiations.
Oh, definitely. Or even just use the CIA to inflame it more.
Mm-hmm.
Make an actual fucking race war happen. Well,
because it would be like especially the Asiatic countries that have a large population of Austronesians or people of that diaspora. Like the Han's Chinese have like absolutely BTFO'd them for centuries.
Australia's in the middle. I mean,
no, Austronesians.
Austronesians. But I'm saying Australia specifically. This has to do with China. They're basically being like softly invaded by China.
Yes.
Like there's a soft invasion going on right now.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Not even an invasion anymore. It's an occupation. They already got invaded. They already lost.
Much more willing to cudgel your enemies. You need to be much more willing. And you need to be willing to threaten your allies into getting into line so that they actually
and we need to do that with English-speaking nations first and foremost.
And to be fair, Trump's not even being that mean about it.
No, but he has been slightly sloppy. He's definitely been sloppy with it, but again, we're definitely moving in the right direction in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not to mention that tariffs are often described in a way that's not really accurate to how they affect people. In tariffs for the most part don't affect regular taxpayers because, even as it affects the importer, and the importer is the person who actually wants the luxury goods. Now, regular working class people don't buy a lot of luxury goods, or at least they don't buy luxury goods that are non-domestic for the most part, with the exception of stuff like cars. That's gonna, for the most part, tariffs, if they do raise revenue, they're going to be raising revenue through people who are typically rich.
And you see, for me, like the only way I could ever get behind tariffs is if you eliminate the income tax. Like if you eliminate
the income tax should be eliminated
Income
regardless.
tax is unconstitutional anyway.
Yes,
it should be eliminated
I agree
regardless.
No, I agree. No, it should be eliminated. But I'm just saying, like, if
they're doing,
like I think that I would make that trade off if the only way you could get rid of the income tax is if you have to supplement that with tariff. Like, okay, we can talk in that situation. I'd rather not have either. But
I would wager that the Trump administration would be in favor of getting rid of the income tax. It's just probably nigh impossible to get it through, to get something like that through the legislation.
It's literally part of their platform.
I know it is. I know it was tacitly talked about, but it's been like at least the past couple months there hasn't been much movement on something like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything since October about
but they will absolutely pass another package for Israel, another
$1 billion
for Israel. That will be their top priority.
So when we get to the 2-hour mark, the rest of the stream is going to be about Israel.
Oh, good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just be careful how you word things. That's all I'm gonna say, and that's for my.
Jew.
She can't be that obvious.
No, we gotta. We can only talk in euphemism, and simile.
Can we just talk about easy bake ovens?
What if we talk about it within like the context of Harry Potter?
No, you can't just talk about the easy bake ovens. You gotta talk about the swimming pool and the roller coaster.
Oh god!
Did you know they had an orchestra too?
Yeah, a fine orchestra.
How hard it is to bake that many cookies?
Did I mention? Speaking of baking, did I mention that I have a home bakery now, JR?
You did not. We will talk about this after. I'm trying to keep this.
I know. It's just
I'm having fun, but like. Still,
hey, you can't say "but" like that. Everything after the "but" means the
okay. Tax cuts. So let's move on to tax cuts. So earlier this month, Trump signed $4.5 trillion worth of tax cuts into law, good, most of which were an extension of the cuts he signed in 2017. The passage of the president's tax cut bill was a major win for him and the GOP, making it through Congress much faster than analysts thought. Experts told the Hill they didn't think it would happen until the very end of the year, especially because House and Senate were pursuing different reconciliation strategies to get it done. Okay, so I'm 100% for the tax cut. However, the thing is, you can't have tax cuts and also raise spending. Like, that totally defeats the purpose. And this is the issue with a lot of presidents who have been very pro-tax cut. They've also blown up the deficit as well. That's just not compatible with each other. Like, it just defeats the entire purpose.
I think they're trying to play on a razor thin edge of tax cuts, stimulate the economy, make enough money to then in the future offset the deficit. I do think that's what their goal. I think their goal is immediate relief to reinvigorate the economy, because I really do think we have been on the precipice of a legitimate depression for about a decade.
Yeah, I have to back up Eppes on this one.
But yeah, that's what I would think is their goal with this.
I would say since COVID, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, the job market is really bad, honestly.
Because Trump.
If people
So the job market is awful. So I've been looking for a job for the past year. So ever since August of 2024, I've been looking for a job. I only just got a job offer. Finally.
Dude,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I haven't worked since the beginning of 22.
Are you a stay-at-home mom as well?
Yes, I'm a board king. I have to take care of my little drones.
All right. So here we go. So the tax cuts were expensive and are expected to add substantially to the national debt. Excluding interest, the law will cost $3.4 trillion through the next 9 years. That will be added to the U.S. debt stock of about $36 trillion. See, I actually kind of like the Hill. Like, there's no partisan language here. They're just basically reporting it. So it's one of the better outlets. But yeah, so fights over the debt, which regularly require the acceptable limit to be raised by Congress, have resulted in a downgrade of U.S. credit worthiness by all the big credit agencies. Trump's tax law included $4.1 trillion increase to the debt ceiling, so the issue won't be a political one for the time being.
Can I just make a quick point, though? A large
Yeah.
part of that deficit spending that we all freak out about literally goes to pay for the social welfare program of all these like fit foreigners who live in this country.
It's
So that's where a
two-thirds of our budget.
majority of all of our money is going.
Yes.
Well, another thing that I don't think people realize
a
is
lot
that
definitely
of
is.
that
I
debt
don't.
is owned
It's
by
more than the
US
military.
public.
The military is a tiny percentage compared to
No,
social welfare
no.
programs.
The military is the largest discretionary budget.
It's the tiny part, actually. It's not the majority.
Yeah, no, it is. It's hold on. I'm gonna look this up.
It's not. It's social welfare. That's where all the money's
It's the
going.
largest
Yeah,
single
social
part of the
welfare
discretionary
It's all
budget.
these fucking
But
GIB
those
programs.
welfare
That's where all the
programs
money's
are
going.
actually
6%
combined
of the budget,
funds, I
man.
think.
Yeah, it's the majority. It's
Well, not only that, like the social welfare programs are a direct decay on culture, on the family, on
Yes.
add to
Yes.
crime.
They are
Like
net
if a
negative.
section 8 housing complex opens within a 10-mile radius of you, I guarantee you your crime will skyrocket.
It also wildly distorts the economy
Yes.
and causes inflation.
And yeah, no. So I mean, go back to the Great Society and the
gotta-
War on Poverty with LBJ,
Didn't work.
who I personally think is arguably the worst president the U.S. has ever had.
Yes.
But
He was
LBJ,
an unironic
basically, if you think
socialist.
about it, it was his whole thing to make. He was purposefully trying to make like, blacks dependent on government handouts in order to farm votes. Basically, he ended up replacing Jim Crow with something else that's just as bad.
yeah, it's called the
in some
civil
ways, even
rights
worse.
regime. That's
Yes.
we live
That's
under
not what
right
I,
now.
that's not what I'm referring to. But I'm
That's a part
referring
of it.
specific-
No, that is
No, it is a
definitely
part of it, but that's not what I'm referring to right now. I mean, we need to abolish Article 7 of the Civil Rights Act. Like,
We need to abolish the
yesterday.
entire Civil Rights Act.
but
Yes.
I say start with. I'm an incrementalist, so I say start with Article 7. But yeah.
Just look at marriage rates pre the Civil Rights Act among
Oh, yeah, no, especially-
black families.
it's
You had
destroyed the
higher
black family.
marriage rates. You had higher marriage rates among black Americans than you did among white Americans. It was what 96-97% pre the 60s, and now it's totally on its head. Totally
It was
on
like
its
80.
head.
What was it? Isn't it like
80%
70? Isn't it like close to 70% or like born out of wedlock or something? Like I saw
I'd
that.
say it's probably even
It's
higher. We'd have to look at
97%, dude.
bro.
It's
Like-
97%.
Now throw in the abortion and the birth control, and oh my, do you have
Okay, so wait,
terrible,
who
terrible
is
stew.
saying that welfare programs have the biggest part of the discretionary budget because it is the military, it is defense.
Not if you look at the overall budget. I've looked this
Yeah,
up.
overall
Oh,
budget
okay,
is
no, so
defense.
okay, I'm looking.
If you look
I'm
up
look-
if you look up the entire budget,
I'm
the
looking at
vast
the
majority goes
plurality.
for welfare spending.
I'm looking.
GIB
okay,
programs.
so you're adding all of those things together.
I'm looking at the entire budget every
Yes,
single
because
year.
they all need to go.
Okay, so no, because I'm looking at it based on the plurality.
The military is a
of the
tiny percentage compared to all the welfare like GIB programs.
Yeah,
We're literally
I've seen
giving
some-
out to like brown people who just
I've
come
seen the
across the
census,
border.
too.
Across the border.
It's outrageous what the sizes of this are in actuality.
Like literally, Jose, who just crossed the Rio Grande, gets $2,000 every single month in like food stamps, welfare, free phone, and like all this other shit. That's on
Yes.
your
I'm not a big
dime.
fan of Jose.
Their
to be
entire
honest. Can't even
their
be fucking
entire
taco
lives are
correctly.
funded by you.
Hey,
Dude,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to ask again. Can we please not talk over each other? I mean, it's yeah.
Hey, you're the only one who has a problem with it.
So,
Oop, I'm gonna have to go. My son is awake.
all right.
Okay, I will see
All
you
right.
later.
It was
Hey,
great.
did
To,
you
great, to
all
have,
enjoy?
great to have you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, have a good night.
Thanks,
Night.
you guys too.
Yeah, sorry for getting a little grumpy, guys. It's just this is the first stream I've done back in a while, and I
Oh, I
don't
see.
want it to be a shit show. This is my first stream in almost 2 years.
Oh my god, really?
Well, no, with the exception of the election, the 7-hour election one from November.
Wait,
but-
I was on that, wasn't I?
You were on that. You, Yiz, Aiden, Cringewalker. But yeah. Anyway, so back to the Congressional Research Service, CRS, found in 2019 real wages increased following the 2017 tax law by 1.2%, an amount smaller than overall growth and compensation in those years. decline of the dollar, I don't think that's anything. I don't think Trump really has contributed to that. So I don't even know if that's.
It's just the empire weakening. So yeah.
Yeah,
of course,
Yeah.
the empire.
Yeah, it's just the things the gears keep turning and keep causing inflation. So I can't blame Trump on that.
Yeah,
I mean, the system literally is designed to go on inflation and infinite money spending. So
Yeah,
Infinite
No, this
money
was
glitch.
alright when we still had Bretton Woods, so that we could have just exported it to Europe to make it their problem.
Yeah,
but
right.
we don't have that anymore now, do
yeah.
we?
This is why I was going to make the point that like the connection to spending and taxation is something that you need to separate, because the system is designed to function on infinite spending, and therefore those things are not as attached as you might think they are. I think I agree with the other people here when I say that that you need to be a little bit more radicalized on taxes because the federal government spends $500 billion collecting taxes every
Mhm.
year, which means outside of the top 25%, whenever you give taxes to the government, it goes to taking your taxes. That's where it goes to. It just disappears. It goes into the void of a system that isn't even self-sufficient.
Yeah, you're being taxed for being taxed.
Yes. Yes.
It's just stupid.
That's-
so stupid.
That should radicalize you more than almost anything else in existence, because it basically means not only are your taxes theft, they're designed, they are done out of this MMT need to destroy inflation when it doesn't do that. And
to fund like transgender clinics in Pakistan.
right, and the irony of this, the irony is that they constantly argue that the rich need to pay their fair share, and I'm like, well,
They pay more than their fair share.
They do. Just tax them only, and then you could just tax the rest of the people zero, and there would be no effect. They would just keep their money in their pockets, and they would in almost every area of the country that isn't just the cities, everyone would be able to live so much better. They would have so much more purchasing power. Their takeaway pay would be 100%. And just scale it up once you get into, say, private business territory. We would solve almost every major problem, including birth rates, suicide rates, crime rates. It would solve so many things. And then just get rid of the illegals and you'd solve so many other things. It should make you want to bash your skull against the wall. It's so simple. It's so obvious. It's such an easy fix.
Here's another. I do want to add something about the tariffs. The tariffs, though. If you are against illegal immigration, you should also be against tariffs, because tariffs tariffs incentivize more illegal immigration, because where are all the jobs? What's going to happen? There's actually there is a correlation. I could pull up the study right now. I'm going to have to find it. I don't have to, but either take my word for it. Ever since April, when Trump ended up adding those additional tariffs, the percentage of illegal immigration has gone up. There is a clear correlation, that not even correlation, causation. And this is just one of the things I don't think MAGA realizes. I don't think
this is new to me,
put two and
so
two together.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm not saying I don't believe you, obviously. I just don't understand what this correlation is. Why would there be more illegal immigrants because of tariffs?
Okay, so because where do all the jobs go then? All the jobs end up coming back to the U.S., which I guess, in theory ends up helping the domestic workforce. However, now where are all the jobs? Where do illegal immigration? What is the biggest motivator for illegal immigration?
So
going where the jobs are.
So the jobs come back because they're brought back domestic, right? So I get you that. Well, don't you just couple that with a policy that illegals can't get hired?
I mean, you could, but at the same time, that also takes more work. When you could just have it naturally, it would lead to a natural net decrease of illegal immigration if you just don't do the tariffs. I'm sorry, I am not a fan of tariffs. So.
It seems like the answer to this is to just heavily disincentivize illegal immigration, and then you get people who just self-deport.
So. Other way, but yeah, no. So Supreme Kizza is actually right here. Yeah, NAFTA did not reduce illegal immigration at all.
I'm sure he's right.
Yeah, he is right.
Are we going to forget about Reagan's amnesty of the '80s, which turned California into a permanent blue theocracy?
Let's hope Trump doesn't get Alzheimer's.
So okay.
To
so
be fair,
back
Reagan was retarded long before he got Alzheimer's.
Well, he's yeah.
Oh
he's
yeah, no, I
always
remember.
retarded.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're a big
Yeah.
Reagan hater. I remember.
Yeah,
always
I
been a
hate
big
Reagan.
No, I'm not talking to you.
You
I'm
really
talking
should.
to Chicago. I'm talking to Chicago.
I mean, the only thing that was real about him was the speeches.
yeah, he was a good speaker. Tax cuts were good too, but Reagan economy was great.
Yeah,
Not
just
quite
it.
not quite as good as the Clinton economy for his first term, but then
Oh,
again
yeah.
the Clinton economy was just like a continuation of the Reagan economy. I've always said the Reagan administration lasted from 1980 to 2000.
Not to mention Newt Gingrich helped a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost
okay,
like
so,
he had a think tank with like 80-20 issues, and he kept handing them to Clinton so that he would deal with him trying to be a Blairite.
So here we go. Attacks on the Fed. Trump's first 6 months have also been marked by vociferous and repeated attacks from the president on the Federal Reserve and Chair Jerome Powell. I'm down for that.
Abolish
Trump-
the Federal Reserve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why are we beholden
Why is
to a
this
private
still in
organization?
existence? You know?
Why are they
Yeah.
letting them print money unapproved?
So Trump reportedly went so far as to pitch the idea of firing Powell to GOP. Went so far? That's like such a mild suggestion.
It is.
But yeah. No,
Yeah, to the
firing
Lindsey
Powell-
Grahams of the world. Yeah.
Like just bomb
Like
it.
honestly, if
Just
I were
blow it
president, like I would appoint like an Austrian as Fed chair.
Yeah.
Just so you could to basically do like the Ron
Essentially the
Swanson,
painter
Ron
variety?
Swanson thing. Like Ron Swanson, basically the reason he's in charge is just to slow things down.
Yes. The point of the Federal Reserve should be to destroy money.
That's basically what it is.
It should destroy more money.
Yeah.
Instead
But,
of being a little habit for tiny hats.
so economists have started to worry about a Fed that takes its cues from the White House. I understand the concern there. Like that's
As if they
probably
weren't
worse-
doing that under Biden.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
that is the worst case nightmare scenario there with basically a merger between the Fed and the White House.
That's already
Um,
happened. So
Financial
sorry.
oppression.
Yeah. No, so I
Everything's
think
got
things
oppression.
are way worse. Things are worse than they seem in a lot of ways. But,
Yes.
So they're worried that the Fed could become more tolerant of inflation, valid concern, and that could lead to financial repression, also a valid concern. When the inflation rate surpasses the rate of interest, leading to negative long-term returns on capital. Yeah, I studied econ. This is a no-brainer. Some supporters of the president have even questioned the 1951 accord between the Fed and the Treasury, whereby the Fed handles the money supply and the Treasury issues bonds. Former Fed Board of Governors member Kevin Warsh, who is often listed as a successor to Powell, floated a new accord to replace the 1951 agreement. Warsh said that the traditionally independent Fed and the Treasury Department could work together to communicate moves about the Fed's balance sheet. I mean, I guess that's a start.
Yeah, let's just give this
But-
organization more power over our money. That sounds
Yeah.
like an amazing idea. Amazing.
Yeah, it sounds.
So markets down, markets up. Stock markets took a dive at the outset of Trump's trade war and then rallied as different deals were announced, especially the one with the Chi-Coms.
Do I
The
even have to
market
say? Do I even have to say that like one, the stock market isn't the economy, and two, like there's people who are outside of that world who don't have the investments in the economy are like cheering yay because it's the destruction of money that doesn't exist.
yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
owned by BlackRock and Bill Gates.
and
Exactly.
Vanguard.
It's like
Black-
it doesn't
it's either
affect me.
It's like
Hurting
BlackRock,
them.
Vanguard, and the
Or
Ross.
State Street.
Hurting the bucket
I'm not
ETFs
allowed
is
to
a
go
good
and
thing.
comment on that.
We must damage the ETF buckets. We have to, because one, like I'm sorry, but boomers got to stop investing in them, and two, that just gives BlackRock infinite money.
You know, I do, and I know the boomers are off. They're a scapegoat a lot of the time, but genuinely, the
Try
baby
not
boomer
to.
the baby boomer generation oversaw the single biggest, and this isn't just in terms of raw numbers. This is per capita too, both raw
Yeah.
numbers and per capita. They've overseen the single largest misallocation of capital in human history.
Yeah, I try not to be harsh on them because obviously
Yeah.
there's a lot of good people who are boomers, but obviously the polls are what they are, and they're doing what they do. So like I have to give them crap when it's due, but like the fact that they've essentially handed their money into these ETF buckets and then gave away their share of these companies rights to BlackRock means BlackRock just runs the companies now. What have you done? What have you done?
To centralize power into one hand, Larry
Yes.
Fink.
Yes, this is worse than communism.
Yeah, at least the communists just fucking kill you.
At least they're honest about what they are and what they believe.
Yeah, Stalinism is more honest, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to add just about okay, actually before we move on to BB,
Oh god.
before we move on to BB and Trump's bromance with him, let's take a second. I actually want to go. I want everybody to say that we're going to go around in a circle. Everyone to say 2 things that Trump has done that they absolutely love, and 2 things that they absolutely hate that Trump has done so far during these past 6 months. And we'll start with American elitists. I just kind of want to feel you guys out, see what you guys answer here. So,
deporting brown people and decreasing legal immigration, 2 big issues.
But that's the same thing.
It basically is. Yeah, that's my top issue. Supporting the war in Ukraine, supporting the war in Israel. Yeah, there you go.
All right. What about you, Chicago?
For me, the main things that I like about Trump is finally securing that rare earth mineral deal with Ukraine, so that now we don't have to import all that shit from China.
You realize that's been fucked over, right? It's not happening.
Not fully. Not fully.
Oh, not fully?
Not fully. Because now we're invested.
Oh,
and this also means that now Russia cannot do anywhere near as much shit as they want. Because they're not the number one fucking player.
True. I'll give you that. Like, getting us involved means we might do something, but is that the real reason why we're getting involved? Because now that Russia took the fields?
Oh, no. No, the real reason why we're getting involved is so that then our fucking investments don't fall flat on our fucking face. Like,
oh, God.
I think there's another element, too, at work, you know.
So not go the same, so not have happen to us what happened to the UK and all of Europe, when they gave the money and then it kind of expected it back, and now they can't get it back. Because,
okay, here's the thing, though.
Collapse.
Here's the thing. Europe gave money. We gave weapons. That's what all those aid packages have been. Weapons.
Yeah.
And ammunition. We don't need that paid back because we don't want that shit back. It's almost expired.
Oh, okay, so 13D underwater backgammon, right?
Now, Europe, yeah, they're just fucked because they're all retards. But
yeah, yes.
Yeah, Europe's just retarded, so fuck them.
Okay, continue.
Now, 2 things that I don't like. Siding with that fucking Mormon who nearly sold out our public land, and the Epstein Files debacle.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I guess I
That's
should I should probably complete the group with the whole, like, the 2 good things and the 2 bad things are the same thing. Being moderate. Being too moderate.
What does that mean? Can you elaborate there?
Oh, definitely. Like, see, I actually really do appreciate that Trump is not like this crazy rampaging dictator that people make him out to be. Like when they put the big baby inflatables and stuff like that. He's not a crying baby. He's actually his actions have been quite surgical, and they've been quite purposeful, and they've also not run afoul of the Constitution and not run afoul of the law, and he's operating within the rules of the government. I fucking hate that image. Like, he's actually doing a little bit too good of a job of coloring within the lines, because my analysis of all the court cases he went through, and his handling of stuff like immigration, and the screeching about due process, which is complete nonsense. They are getting due process. If you're found,
they shouldn't.
illegal,
Honestly, they shouldn't.
Well, the due process. Okay, due process doesn't just mean every crime gets a court and a judge and a jury. Obviously, due process is different rules for different crimes. The due process for being an illegal is you get kicked out.
Yeah. So, no, exactly.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So so that means due process has not been violated. Every single time that they claim Trump is doing something illegal or that he's like making it's been nonsense so far, and I'm not gonna fall for it at this point. Whenever I hear the screeching, I can see right through it and say, "Oh, you're just lying again. You're just lying again." Now I'm not going. I'm obviously going to look into it and see what the truth is because I need to know the details. We all need to know the details for these shows and these streams and stuff. But at this point, I've seen it so many freaking times that I know for a fact that it's all nonsense. They're just going to lie about what the law is. They're going to lie on what the Constitution is. They lie every single time they mention the Constitution anyway. They don't understand the 14th Amendment, etc., etc., etc. And then the other thing that I'm irritated by is,
to be fair, this isn't just a left wing thing. The right does the same. Like, I don't mean to be. I don't mean to do like both sidisms, but for very different reasons, they pick and choose what parts of the Constitution they like, and then discard
particularly the neocons who are globalists anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not like even our it's not even. I mean, I won't even pretend that all the MAGA is perfect. I mean, look, there's Oz right there. What do I even have to say? He's a snake too. And then there's the people who like claim to be MAGA and then aren't. So to wrap it up, because I see the timer going, I think the other thing that I really didn't like is how he handled the Epstein files.
Yes, no, we're gonna have an entire. After we talk about Israel. The Israel stuff. We're going to end by talking about the Epstein files.
Yeah, because if he just handled it, he'd be like an A+++ president right now. And I think that's it. That's all I got. I think.
But yeah, no. So let's start. And I don't know if I want to. I might have to skip over American Elitist because I don't know if he's going to be able to hold his tongue here. But so yeah, we will skip him. And we'll go straight to Chicago. What is your what is your take on this whole Trump and Israel? I mean, I know that's a very vague question, but
Trump and Israel.
Trump and Israel.
You're afraid of American elitists, but you should probably be afraid of me too.
Well, you're not white, so that's a little different.
Oh,
fuck you.
Harsh. Probably more white than you are. Right?
Okay, here's the thing, though. Do you think the Japanese don't have spicy opinions on Israel?
Well, I don't really. I mean, I don't really. So they're on two totally different sides of the play. I didn't even know there was really a relationship between Japan and Israel because I mean, I'm sure there is, but like,
do you forget Japan sided with the mid-century painter? World War II. The tiny hats never forgot that. The tiny
Chicago.
They don't forget anything.
Chicago, you keep going on with what you're saying. Sorry for interrupting.
To be honest, regarding Israel, I'm of the opinion of why the fuck do we help them?
They're not a good ally. They're just a shitty ally.
Yeah, they're an incredibly shit ally. Even if you believe them on the USS Liberty incident being a mistake, why the fuck do we still help them?
They sided with the Soviets in the Cold War. Why are we helping them?
Well, no, they did not, in fact, side with the Soviets in the Cold War. The moments that they declared independence, the Soviets started arming theirs. They very much did not side with the Soviets. They instead helped found the Soviet Union.
Well, yeah.
What's the difference?
Also, let's not forget that our favorite ally has sold our secrets to China, dragged us into war in Iraq on faulty intelligence.
Are you sure they didn't side with the Soviets? They kind of do a lot of things that someone siding with the Soviets would do.
Do you actually know the first secret they sold to China? The F-16 blueprints. Because they tried to make
they literally sold our top secret
aircraft. They then got
aircraft.
ass mad when we said, no, you can't build that, and then sold it all to China. Fuck them.
Hey, listen though, BB is gonna come over and Trump's gonna do his laundry for him because he's just such a great little.
Look, man, I don't care about Trump's worst pornography act, okay?
I'm of the opinion they're not even close anymore, based on how much he's rejected what he wanted to do. He constantly begs and pleads.
If they still are close.
I mean, honestly, to use the best analogy I can think of, at this point, Israel
they're a cancer.
At this point, Israel.
So it sounds like if 40K Gellerfield is failing for you.
So it's like at this point, Israel is Greg Heffley and America's Rowley, because Israel, it just treats the U.S. like a doormat, and while the U.S. just responds by saying "Zooey Mama" and sending them to another aid package. Like that's basically what it is.
I would go a bit further, but I'm not going to use that language here.
I mean, at this point, both the far left and the far right hate them.
No,
And
yeah, no,
I hate to
even-
use that terminology, but I mean the real far right and the real far left.
No, but okay. The thing is, that's not just that. So even like young Zoomer normie right wingers, or not right wingers, just like conservatives, like
Zero
conservative state Israel,
not
yes.
not Charlie
even
Kirk
just
himself,
young normie
not Charlie
Zoomers,
Kirk himself,
period.
Yeah, any real
but
conservative,
Zoomer,
right.
but Zoomers, like there's a rising like regular Republican Zoomers at unprecedented rates are just turning on Israel. Like it's become a generational
Good.
thing. It's not a left right issue.
Good. Finally.
Well, they're going through something similar to what I went through. I didn't have the most typical millennial experience. I mean, I basically never had a lot of money. I've never had a lot of resources. I had to learn from a young age to salvage and understand the resources that I have in front of me and make the most of them. So, like, Zoomers are in the same situation, and you look at a state like Israel and you try to see what utility you have by allying with them, and you see none. You see none. The boomers are going to like just think, ideology or cognitive dissonance on that or whatever. They're just going to spout some traditional some traditional wisdom about it, like, oh well, they're our main ally in the Middle East. Yeah, but they do nothing. They're worthless.
Yeah, no, so yeah, here's the thing. So, and I will say, I have done. I won't say I won't outright. I won't say a 180, maybe more like a 170. But my opinion on Israel over the past year and a half has totally plummeted. Like I was never ideologically a fan of Israel, and I always was critical of their government. But the thing is, I was from the perspective of realpolitik, and just sort of like from the perspective of realpolitik, I was like, okay, pragmatically, I think it's a good idea that we back Israel. But then the thing is, like, I'm totally wrong though. Like they're not. It's not even useful for realpolitik reasons because they're just such a crappy ally.
Yeah.
Like
the optics.
They're an enemy.
damage.
They're not even an ally. I wouldn't even use that
Right,
word.
they're an enemy.
For me,
And
like,
even
literally the only thing that they've ever given us is decent fucking tech for irrigating, like, deserts. We got that in the 60s now, we don't need them anymore for it.
As this image on the right has shown us, they've given us a butt plug selling rabbi. That's what they fucking given us.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought, is that
Rabbi Shmuley?
Is that him?
Yeah, that's fucking
Oh,
him.
no.
That's fucking him.
It's rap. No, I purposefully, Riley. I or American Elitist. I did that for you specifically. I purposefully searched BB Rabbi Shmuley picture.
I know, because he's the
my
most
God.
dysgenic looking freak ever. Most dysgenic looking.
But either way, and I say this is someone, and we've had this conversation before, American Elitist. Like I am unironically a philo-Semite. Like I am, but the thing is that is not the same thing as liking Israel. Like I do not like Israel at all.
Easy
like,
big oven. Sorry.
No, it's not. Let's not go there.
It just needs to be replaced with the the Kingdom of Jerusalem.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
it's the modern option.
No, I was saying it would be funny. So
Jerusalem
I
boys.
actually, so me and another guy I knew, we were talking about. We actually almost did it because we both have Crusader costumes and helmets. We were going to put on the Crusader costumes, put on helmets, go to a Palestine-Israel protest, and like have signs that say "Restore the Kingdom of Jerusalem."
You
But-
know what? I should just change my Borg flag to like two hands, and then there's the cross, and they're praying to because that's just where I am these days.
I thought you were an atheist.
I was an atheist.
Have you ever seen that
Wasn't it,
article?
Then you have to deal with this fucking
I changed.
conversation.
I am a reborn Catholic.
I mean,
Have you ever seen that article?
Ayn Rand would be so disappointed in you.
And she's also Jewish,
I don't
so
think
whatever.
so. I'm still.
She can't be on the nose, man. You can't be on the nose.
On the nose.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
Yeah. I hope this stream
disgusting
doesn't. I
looking
hope this stream
witch, you know,
doesn't. I hope this stream doesn't get people.
By the way, I was just gonna make a point. Did you know Breitbart was conceived of in Jerusalem? Just gonna say that, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy.
Like literally, all
It's just-
conservative
I
media is
don't-
like
I don't know about
controlled
you,
from
man.
Jerusalem.
I don't know about you, but if I go to Jerusalem, I will be
Whenever you
inspired.
invited me back on these streams, if you wanted them to be monetized.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
you really think that was gonna work?
What would work?
Well, the monetization would work when you bring on people like
Yeah.
us.
Yo, like,
American
you really
conservatism,
monetize
it's
this
conceived
shit,
in
man?
Israel and Jerusalem. That's
I mean, you
there
know
you
that
go.
Yiz deletes every single one of her streams because if she leaves them up too long, the IF7 comes and locks her account.
Yeah.
So
There's a reason why I haven't been on live streams in years, man. It's so that then I don't demonetize my friends.
yeah. No. So I don't think no. So this one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm used to getting demonetized. So, and the thing is, like,
if only somebody
is,
just like built some swimming pools for Mr. Rabbi Shmuley right there. If only somebody would do that.
Yeah. No. Okay. So I have a friend. He's been on these streams before. I have a friend who's studying to be an Orthodox rabbi in Tel Aviv, and he hates Rabbi Shmuley. He's like, yeah, no, he's like. He basically says he's an Orthodox Jew, and he said Rabbi Shmuley deserves anti-Semitic hate.
Dude, he's made it his like business venture to send porn to children.
No, he's literally a butt plug selling rabbi. Like literally, that's just his whole fucking job.
So, yeah, I mean, I just don't think that's not very. I don't even know if he's a real rabbi.
He is.
This is literally the same person who wrote an article. I'm not even kidding. The
A
title of
rabbi-
the article is literally called "Is God an Anti-Semite?"
Yes.
Literally. So there you,
You know
go.
what? If I were God, I certainly would be.
How could you not?
Speaking of which, one of the funniest, Henry Kissinger was actually really, really funny. If you actually heard a bunch of the stuff he said, one of the funniest things I heard him say is he said, "Perhaps if it weren't for the circumstances of my birth," he said, "I'd probably be an anti-Semite."
How could you not be? I mean, 2,000 years, everywhere you go, you're banned from every.
He made that joke too. He said he was also like, maybe we should start looking at ourselves after like 186 countries or whatever it was. But in all seriousness, though, I do like.
Can you please get rid of the image on the right? It's really disgusting. You know, it's really disgusting.
Sure, but hold on, I'll find another one. But either way,
Have one of him and
either way,
BB Trump.
either way, though. So the thing is, there are some Orthodox Jews who I have talked to who actually are very anti. They're anti like state of Israel because they're like, yeah, no, that's not the real Israel. That's not the thing that's not the state of Israel is not the Israel that they believe.
Yes.
Is like will return according to their.
Yeah, that's great. They're a tiny minority.
According to their
Jews.
eschatology. So.
How much do you know about the descendants of Shem?
The descendants of what?
The descendants of Shem. You know, the actual Semites?
Yeah. It's funny. So, most of them are Arab. Like Arabs are Semites too. So like if you think about anti-Semitism, the term
but it's a misnomer.
Doesn't.
It's a misnomer because the tribes of Israel got wiped out.
Semites anymore.
Yes, that's exactly the point I'm making. Like the 13 tribes of Israel got wiped out, which means as a Christian, you're more likely to be a descendant of Shem than any Jew who is alive and in Israel right now. It should be called Judea, not Israel.
Did you guys by any chance end up watching? So I was a month late with it. I watched it with Alkazai, my former co-host, when I was in Illinois last week.
Whatever happened to Alkazai?
But Tucker's interview with Ted Cruz. Did any of you guys see that? Honestly, my respect for Tucker went up like so much after that. Like that was probably one of the greatest interviews I've ever seen.
Dude, people are sleeping on Tucker. His shows are awesome on Twitter.
I mean, Ted Cruz is on the same level as Lindsey, like Golden Graham. You know, he's right up there.
No, yeah. So basically, Ted Cruz and Kamala Harris are like they are tied for my least favorite politicians. So
yeah,
for different reasons, but
yes, but like Ted Cruz went way down in my eyes. He went from like someone who was like tepidly MAGA and like working in the background or whatever, and just and like taking up space at least for the good causes, and then all of a sudden he did every neocon thing you would expect from him.
Yeah, no, he's slimy. He's a slime ball.
Well, again, he gets most of his money from the tiny hats, you know, and
he
worships tiny
exactly.
hats.
Remember, he was saying, like, I remember in the Tucker interview, he was saying, AIPAC is not. AIPAC is American. The A in AIPAC stands for America Israel. It's not.
You can't have two masters.
Man, talk about blowing smoke up your ass.
Okay, here's the thing: the two masters of Ted Cruz are Canada and Israel. He's not American at all.
Yeah, he's Canadian. Yeah.
Let's be real. Israel gets the Israel gets the upper half.
No, but the thing is, like, he doesn't. And I thought one of the funniest things, though, in the Tucker interview was when he said, "Well, I always learned in Sunday school when I was a kid that those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed." I don't know which Bible, or then
he definitely
Tucker
cursed
was
Israel with a
no, and
face
then
like
he was
that.
like, and then he was like, I don't remember what part of the Bible it was in, and then Tucker just cuts him off and said, "It's Genesis. It's Genesis."
Right, and no Jew alive is part of Israel.
I disagree, like, because we're not going to get into the genetics aspect right now, but I do have a counter to that we can talk about this after the stream, because I want to get back to Trump. So yeah, Trump in
Zion Dawn over here, Zion.
Man, I'm like the least like villain on that stuff.
We won't say it on stream, but like, I mean, honest, Thomas's.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Rabbi Trump. I'm really sorry for saying that.
That was a Thomas 777. That's his nickname.
I'm sorry, I should have said Rabbi Trump. I should have said Rabbi Trump.
We're so
Man,
irreverent.
I'm so happy I agreed to come on this.
Yeah, this is great.
Right?
Why isn't he wearing his like little cap for like a good little goy?
Okay, let's stop there. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, so either way, so Trump and Netanyahu, like, do you think for Trump it is? Do you think he has some sort of ideological attachment to Israel, or do you think he's just being played?
He's just a boomer.
I think he's just a boomer.
But then you also remember, like, his there's also his Ivanka and Jared Kushner and stuff too. I mean, I've heard theories. For instance, I don't know if I necessarily buy into them, that like it's basically because of interests of his son-in-law and his daughter. So
nah, I've never seen anything that actually backs that up. It's all been
neither have I.
So I think that the answer to that is just that he has this naive idea that he was going to get along with Israel, and then he found out what Netanyahu's actually like, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I can't do this."
He didn't learn from the first time Netanyahu betrayed him.
Yeah,
but he's not learning it. He hasn't changed really his stance on Israel anyway. Like, I was legitimately concerned that Israel had started World War III like a month ago. I was.
What do you think?
Why?
Like, they donated the most to his campaign. Of course, he's going to take orders, from
yeah,
Jerusalem.
but why would you think that? Because I mean, it's the main one of the largest parts of Trump's platform is to start no wars. This was the perfect way to handle that situation. You just bomb them. You don't put any boots on the ground. He hasn't put any boots on the ground in any other conflict he's had to deal with. He dealt with the Houthis pretty decisively. He just blew them up.
Yeah, I still think we need to improve relations with Iran, and I don't think. Again, we won't get into this right now. I actually wrote an entire article about this. It's actually on the Mises Wire. But yeah, no, like, the thing is, we need to.
I should probably give you some advice on the Iran thing. You're not going to make any friends with GWAT veterans with that stance at all.
Yeah,
like,
not
they
to
all
mention
hate
that
Iran because they know friends who were killed by Iran's
I don't doubt it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, that doesn't change my opinion on it.
No,
but I understand.
Oh, certainly. Like, to me, it's just good politics. But like, the thing is, for the Republican Party, a huge part of their base is war veterans.
Yeah, keep in mind that not only all that is true, but the government is becoming less stable by the day. The largest growing demographic in Iran is evangelical Christians. And
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I'd rather just be like Catholics or some sort
tiny
of
hat
Coptic or
worshippers.
something. But more than anything, the fact that his foreign policy on that is unify the entire region against Iran, so that they have like a common enemy, and that you have all these Abrahamic Accords and whatnot.
No, the Abraham Accords were pretty good.
Yeah.
What I think is stupid, though, is, and there is some cognitive dissonance here, is when like Republicans, so whether they're like MAGA Republicans or neocons, where they're like, oh my God, the JCPOA, that was like the worst thing ever. Oh my God, like we were like, that's actually helping Iran, which it didn't. There were compromises, but it didn't help Iran. But then they're like, we don't want a nuclear Iran. And I'm like, so like, what are you going to do? Like some kind of deal that is like the best way to ensure
They
that
violated
Iran,
every deal we've ever made with them.
like that
One
was
thing
one of
that
the, that was one of
actually
the,
probably
no,
makes
so
clear
the
as well
Iran
is,
deal,
like,
the Iran deal was one of
Iran
the.
is going to happen no matter what you try to do.
I actually,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not even necessarily
stupid.
against a nuclear Iran because it'll end up
I am.
reducing power. It'll end up reducing power imbalances. Like no two countries with nukes have
Okay.
ever gone to war with each other.
Here's
Well, that's not
here's
true at
one
all.
good
That's
reason.
not true at all.
There is
That's-
one reason for why you shouldn't
Okay,
have a
no,
nuclear
okay. Let me
Iran.
rephrase that.
Do you
No
want
two
to just
countries
fight
with
the
nukes have ever.
Saudis
No
having
two
a
countries
nuclear
with
program?
nukes. I misspoke. No two countries with nukes have launched nukes at each other. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay,
it
like,
came
the main
so
reason
close.
why I don't support a nuclear Iran is
I don't
because
support a nuclear Iran, but like I think that it could reduce power imbalances if you, I don't know,
No.
throw them a bone.
Yeah, but we've already
No, it
solved
would
this
just
problem.
increase
You just
nuclear
bomb them with bunker
proliferation.
busters and force them to start over. Just do it
just
once
but
every
that's-
have
2
nuclear
years.
proliferation.
But that
Let
said,
me
the
finish. Let
JCPOA
me
though.
goddamn finish.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so do you guys have any foreknowledge on Saudi Arabia and its
Yes,
policy with Pakistan?
Not really.
not its policies in
So-
Pakistan. No.
So Saudi Arabia has this agreement with Pakistan that the moment Iran gets nukes, Pakistan will give Saudi Arabia nukes. I don't want Saudi Arabia with nukes, so therefore we can't have Iran with nukes.
Yeah, like,
Okay,
call
that's
me a-
that's fair. That's fair.
Call
But-
me a hippie fag, but I think nuclear proliferation is bad.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
is
it's gonna happen anyway. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but the thing is, it's kind of
Have you
inevitable.
seen how
Because I
much
mean, because
people
it
struggle
is
with
in
it?
it is in every country's best interest, more like at least for them. If you're looking,
Well,
at
it
it
is,
from a-
especially when you
if
have
you're
like
looking
this
at it from a
rogue
realist-
state in the
if you're
Middle
looking at
East.
it, hey, hold on, let me finish. If you're looking at it from a realist perspective, it is in the like. Okay, why do you think North Korea wanted nukes? Why do you think like Libya, for instance?
To protect
It's
the
because-
regime.
Yes, no, because
we understand
the
this.
nuclear
We understand
weapons
this
are
is
not
fine.
the true power of the nuclear bomb is not that it is a weapon it's not an offensive weapon. It's a deterrent. That's the true power of the nuclear bomb.
Try saying that to an IQ 85 Islamic fundamentalist.
Yeah, no, I know.
You
Yeah,
won't
but-
understand.
But either way, I will say the Iran deal is one of the things that Obama did that was genuinely good.
That's retarded.
And
it was good intention.
No, it wasn't good.
It was not
No,
good.
you need to get laughed at for that. No, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it
good
could have been
intention,
handled
Penny
better,
that
but the
doesn't
thing
mean
is,
the same as good.
No, it didn't make any sense because all he did was hand them pallets of cash for essentially nothing.
Yeah. But
It
they
was-
ended up dismantling like over half of their centrifuges, though.
You believe that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Why?
I mean, I know they didn't dismantle as many as they said they were going to,
So they lied.
but
So why do you trust them?
but they still did. No, but they still did. Like that's what I mean. So
But they didn't, and they lied, and you just admitted that.
But what I want to know is, when you say that they dismantled the centrifuges, did the IAEA say that?
I forget this. I'm gonna have to go back and
You
look
need
at
to
because
stop
again,
believing what articles say.
no. This,
Are we really
Yeah,
going to trust
the
the
thing-
IEA with
the
statements? We're going to trust the IEA.
The only thing that you should don't believe when you say that and there's a claim on it is if the IAEA has verified it, because they are the foremost experts on this stuff. And even better, unlike most political experts, they're not biased and are fully apolitical in their reporting.
Well, no one's apolitical, so that's not true. That's not
Though the
Well, there
IAEA
you
very
go.
much is. They just tell you the data and that's it. They don't give
That
an
means that their
opinion.
politics are being honest, and that's a conservative value.
that's okay.
Here's my thing. I don't
guess
think
I'm kinda
anybody in the
scratched,
Middle
but,
East should have nukes, including Bagel Town over here on the right.
I entirely agree with that. Israel should not have nukes.
Did you make that up?
No, it's a code word I've been using for a long time. in
Cutter.
Bagel
No, Cutter.
Town over here. You know?
It's Cutter. I like the Cutter joke.
Just shot up Bagel.
No, it's Bagel Town. You know,
Gotta cut up those nukes, god damn it.
they literally shouldn't have nukes. They stole them from us, literally.
Right.
They shouldn't have them.
They're
No,
not-
here's the
I-
thing
I
about
can't
Israel.
trust
No,
Israel is
Iran did not steal the nukes.
We literally can't
I
trust
would
them.
give
Why
them
should they
that.
have
They
nukes?
actually have a indigenous program. Pakistan did steal them from us, though.
Pakistan shouldn't have nukes.
Here's the thing, actually. I'm okay with Pakistan having nukes because they're just going to
Why?
use them against India. And I'm for those countries wiping each other out. I'm completely
Pakistan-
okay
I mean-
with that.
See, I don't-
Pakistan is just Muslim India. Yeah.
Honestly,
It
if they
is.
both went to nuclear war with each other right now, it wouldn't bother me that much. In fact, the world would be a lot better.
Actually, no. I think neither of them should have nukes, and they should go to conventional war with each other. Just wipe each other
No,
out.
yeah,
I'm
so
pro
I've
that.
always said World War III is probably going to be a conventional war. Like I just don't see. I don't think nuclear war is as plausible as a lot of people seem to suggest. Like
I mean,
when people
we're
talk-
at war with Russia right now, and Russia's
Exactly.
a nuclear power.
Yes, we
So
run-
Yeah,
there
no,
you go.
exactly. Exactly. No, I think
War
the
from the
invasion of
Pentagon.
Ukraine, the invasion of Ukraine proves that we are not beyond a point in history where we have outgrown conventional warfare. There's
We're
always
never
gonna be
going to
conventional
outgrow
warfare. We're not. We're
conventional
never
warfare.
going to.
We're never
We're never
going
going to outgrow. Yeah.
Right, that was one of the main errors of the post-World War order. Is that
Yeah, the
this idea
post-World
that
II
you
order
can
is
just,
built on lies. Yeah.
all of it is a lie. You can't just enforce from a super state or even international courts anything really.
I mean,
Because
you
in the end-
can,
But
but
they have to have guns,
it's
don't
not
they?
in a way that anyone's going to agree on, because then you just have a global empire.
Oh yeah, like
When I
the
mean
UN
global empire,
Security
I
Council.
don't. No, I mean like everyone has been annexed by the United fucking States.
Yeah, no, basically, like when our alliances too are purposefully designed to be unilateral, and in practice, a lot of these countries that are allies, quote unquote, are functionally vassals, clients, satellites.
Vassal would be the correct term, but yeah.
Well, it
So much-
depends. It depends. Some of them are more like clients. Some of them are more like vassals.
There's almost no
but,
worse fate than being a U.S. ally, except for
It
Japan.
really isn't. I think, Kissinger said it best, like, no worse fate than being America's friend.
The-
Fatal mistake. Fatal
The
mistake.
reason why Japan has enjoyed such a good time in the post-World War II era is because they can't declare war. I know that
So-
that might be a bit too simplified, but it helps.
Oh yeah, it's heavily simplified.
Also,
You know,
Japan
you
is
should
suffering
actually-
the effects.
You should actually see this movie titled Path Labor 2 because it actually gets into that, involving Japan's role in the Cambodian peacekeeping operation and basically a fictional coup happening.
Yeah.
You're gonna
No, it's
make me want
actually
to go.
really interesting.
No, I'm sure. You're making me want to run into a Thai like restaurant and yell "fuck Cambodia."
Do it. No balls.
Okay, let's get back to Trump. Trump and Israel specifically. So, do you really just think
Wendy
that it
hates
is?
Cambodia, damn it.
Do you guys really just think that it's just him being a boomer? Like, is that
I do.
really him? You'd explain? Okay.
Yeah, it is a
I
boomer
don't think-
thing.
I don't think Trump's owned by anybody. I think he's. Too,
It's not in the religious sense either. It was religious.
No,
Zionism either.
Trump's not religious.
He's
so
just
I think
he's just
everyone knows
naive.
that, so.
He was just sort of he spent most of his time as an adult in the business world and not in politics, so he's still naive on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And he clearly doesn't learn his lesson from the first time this guy betrayed him.
He learned some of them, but not all of them, which is unfortunate.
Nowhere
Then
near
again,
enough
he's
of
also
them.
almost 80.
So Chuggus is saying Trump's owned by the neocon. I would say he's not owned by the neocons.
No,
but
he's not.
But he definitely he appeases them too much, and again that's why Trump.
Yeah, what do you
Trump
think
is
the whole
what-
Iran
I say
thing was
it's like-
about?
And I'm not even saying this. This isn't me even bashing Trump, but just like objectively, he is one of the most inconsistent presidents when it comes to, like, yes, in
The
theory,
problem is it's
he's-
one of his strengths. The problem is it's one of his strengths, so it's like a tactic he has to play, and it has downsides.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Um,
even worse than that. The problem is it's his only strength in Washington, to be honest.
And it's the funny thing is that it's made him a stronger president than almost any president in the last century. So it's like, come on, accept that there's going to be some downsides. Suck it up.
So I wouldn't say he's one of the strongest presidents of the past. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Like, I think he is a solid C tier president. But
if you're like S is like someone who has perfectly every stance and gets everything done that you want to get done, sure. But I think he's considering the situation he's in and the fact that there's a big chunk of the government that won't even do as he says. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, literally half the government is open revolt against the president.
Yeah. They're making it easy to pick out who to purge, that's for sure.
yeah. But so anyway, anybody else have anything else to say on Israel? I guess final thought. Let's go around. Let's just do final thoughts on this topic before we move on to the next one, which is tangentially related. I mean, at least there's a. Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, I do have
So,
one
okay.
thing.
Anybody else have any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thought. The only thing I agree with Israel on is that it's absolutely ridiculous to tolerate a terrorist neighbor. So I'm like pro 100% them annexing the Gaza Strip.
You're for Israel annexing the Gaza Strip or Trump?
Yeah, both.
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. Israel should be controlled by the United States directly.
We shall make the presidential Republic of Canaan a thing.
But
Invasion begins in 5 minutes.
I would have to like say that like the Gaza Strip has been a failure from the beginning. They immediately voted in a terrorist organization as their government. The Palestinians don't have a functional nation, let alone a nation state. Their culture is it's just ribbons of Arabic ideas, and nobody likes them because again they don't have any real cultural identity outside of being vaguely Arabic. I mean,
Even Egypt's not letting it come in.
Yeah, they would be stupid to tolerate a terrorist state on their doorstep, and then basically they're taking responsible for redeveloping it. It's kind of what the U.S. did when it made other countries its vassals at the end of world wars. It kind of makes sense. Does that mean I like Israel? No. Does it mean that I like what they're doing? Like the amount of collateral damage caused? No, they did a very poor job. I don't agree with the way they're going on about it at all. It's a nightmare. The amount of deaths alone is a nightmare. But like, I don't know. It shouldn't stay the way it is. They've already done 98% of the work of annexing it. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, my take on the whole Israel thing is Israel's whiny and Palestine is cringe. That's the best way to just the easiest way to sum it up. I mean, if you're gonna talk about the vibes of it, but
I'm not going to say what I
Sore
want to say
losers.
on YouTube.
They are sore losers, and it's okay. It's okay. Nobody likes Israelis either. They're gonna get what's coming to them.
So, but either way, it's But yeah, no. But also, the one thing is, I don't like this whole dualism where it's like, oh, if you hate Israel, like you're pro Hamas, and if you're if you're pro Israel, you like want to genocide all the Palestinians. Like, for instance, I remember I sent out a tweet a few months ago, and I was basically like, Israel is a terrible ally. They suck. But I still think comparatively speaking, Hamas is worse because they're like actually like traditional terrorists. I mean,
Well,
Israel,
they're just they're 80 IQ. So what do you expect?
But I think the best devil's advocate counter argument is the fact. So Israel is way more powerful than Palestine. The argument that if Israel wanted to actually commit a genocide on Palestine, they would, but they have the power to. Whereas Palestine or Hamas specifically, if they do not have the power to genocide Jews in Israel, but if they had the power to do that and they had the resources to do that, they definitely would. Like, I think that's the strongest argument when it comes to when it comes to the claims that it's a genocide. So I do not believe genocide is a very, 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 very strong word to describe what's going on right now. I can see the argument for it being apartheid. It still technically is not apartheid, but I can see where people are coming from with that. But honestly, my issue with Israel, it's not even necessarily the fact that Israel exists. It's not even really anything that they're doing over there in their neck of the woods. It's just the influence that they have in the U.S. government.
Yeah,
That's
It's
my
like-
that's my biggest concern. It's about sovereignty.
yeah. What I would say to them is like, my brother in Christ, do you have any idea how artificial this entire board of chess like players is? Many of these states only exist because we let them to. The genocide. I've always resisted the genocide narratives because it's pretty obvious that it's just collateral damage from the way that they're handling the getting rid of Hamas.
Yeah, Israel's just reckless. Israel's just reckless, and they don't know how to. They don't know how to limit collateral damage.
I think it's far more damning to just call them incompetent.
I don't know if it's incompetence or they just don't give a shit. It's one of the
It's
two, but I mean, either way, it's the same result. Either way,
one
either way, you
generates
get the thing. But either way, so we're gonna move on from BB, and we are
I
going
don't
to
think
talk
you
about.
asked for my final thoughts yet.
Oh yes, no, yes, please go.
Go thump,
Yeah.
thump hard.
For my final thoughts, there's a huge tragedy that we haven't even thought up of yet, and it's that there's so many Christian communities in the West Bank that are being
Yes.
affected by this.
Yes.
Like the Druze. Not Jews, Druze.
Well, Druze
Yeah.
aren't Christian though.
Well, the
That's
Druze
that-
are
that's an-
the
I
Druze
thought
are
they're
a type
Coptic.
of Muslim.
well, no, they're not a type. They're not a type of Muslim either. They're
Oh.
not. They're an Abrahamic ethno religion.
Mm.
Alright.
So
Yeah.
they're like a sort of syncretic mix between like Nestorians, Muslims, and like Kabbalah, essentially.
That's weird.
For me, like,
but it's also no, but they also believe in reincarnation, and
for me, like, I just want this conflict to be done with, man.
yes,
So that then
exactly.
they can go back to like actually living in fucking peace, or at least as much peace as they can in the Middle East.
Yeah.
The
Like,
problem
what
is
did the
that just
Christians
will
do
never
to the
happen.
Can we just throw
Like, for me,
bombs
it's
at
what
both of
did
them?
the Christian Palestinians do to deserve this shit?
Innocents didn't do anything to deserve any of this, and this is why war's bad, because who
Yes.
gets screwed more than anyone? The innocents.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything else to say on this before we move on? Because we have one more thing to talk about.
I'm good. You guys can
I'm
fit
good.
post if you want.
Okay, so in this case, sort of related. So everyone's favorite Mossad agent, Jeffrey Epstein. So yeah, this leads us to probably the biggest blunder that Trump has made over the past 6 months, if not arguably his entire
Ever.
tenure as presidency, which includes the first term as well. Because he totally said, he was like, I'm going to release the Epstein files. That's what he was saying. He campaigned on that. And then all of a sudden he's saying there's no Epstein file. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. Like,
Here's the worst thing. He's also been recently saying that the Democrats put his name on the Epstein files, which means
he's moving the goalposts.
this
Yeah.
this implies there is an Epstein files. His name is on it, and now he wants to go and try to justify that.
Yeah, he
Which
keeps changing his.
Even worse.
I can't
Here's
help
the thing.
but
Here's
think
the
of-
thing. So, I mean, you have people who are saying, "Oh yeah, no." You have some people who are saying, "Oh yeah, no, Trump's a pet." Like, okay, I don't think Trump diddled any of those little girls. However, I think that they do
He
have
was
something.
friends with
I think,
Epstein.
no, here's the thing. That's not even what. But I do think
I don't
that.
think so either.
No, I do think that there is they still have something on Trump. I think it's probably some kind of embezzlement or financial thing. I wouldn't put that past him. Like, there's obviously something on Trump, but I don't think it's what like a lot of the shit libs are like accusing him of. Like, it's a lot more in a lot of ways. I mean, there's
For
a
me,
much
it's
more
not
obvious
so much-
answer there.
It's not so much that Trump might have diddled those kids. It's more probably that he did some inappropriate things during like his beauty pageant stuff that he hosted.
Yeah, but I don't think that would get him on. I don't think that would be merit like blackmail.
No, it definitely will, especially in this day and age.
Well, in this day and age, but like the thing is, that would have been like at least 15 years ago, and
Even-
I mean the climate
I
has
mean,
changed now. But so he would have
Some of the Harvey
yeah,
Weinstein stuff that he got taken down for was from around the same time
Uh,
from the trial. So, like, this is still some pretty serious stuff that
oh no, it's
people
serious.
are going to
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
wrestle
disagree.
with their
but-
conscience with.
Here's the other thing we got to think about. The reason he's not releasing the client list, the documents, is because a lot of the people in DC are on that list. A lot of the powerful people,
Oh, definitely.
including some people in Trump's administration, are probably on that list.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's be
definitely.
real, you
Probably
know?
more than a few.
And it implicates a lot of them. And he's not going to fuck with those people because even Trump knows there's a price for doing that.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to cross that line.
But I think that, but Trump's optic, the way he's handled it very, very poorly. Like, let's say he came out and said, "Okay, I'm not going to release the Epstein files," but the way he handled it, and his responses, and just sort of that whole discourse, he made himself look really, really, really bad. First of all, his distraction. But do you guys remember what his distraction was immediately after he said that, and then the media was basically going after him by saying he's not releasing the Epstein file? You know what Trump did immediately after that?
What?
That's when he started. That's when he said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm now sending like, I don't know, 10 billion to Ukraine or whatever. I forget the exact number." But immediately
Yeah,
after
that doesn't
that,
help.
he gets some money to Ukraine.
It makes him sound like a Jew supporter.
No, I said Ukraine, not Israel.
Difference
Who is
being.
what is
Same
who is
thing.
willing? Yeah, Ukraine is just greater Khazaria. In fact,
Now-
this is something that
now, again, the-
Zelensky talks about almost every time he's on.
They all talk about it. Oh, they all talk.
But yeah, no. But
No,
did
again,
you see,
like,
did you guys see the
remember
cat?
the
Did you guys
point
see
that
the
I
cash? Oh,
made
sorry.
on-
Continue.
Now remember again the points that I made on Ukraine and how that aid actually works. Like, it's not how Europe does it. It's not how Japan does it. So it's actually like a net good for us to go and just get rid of that shit because it already costs money to get rid of it. It actually costs a lot of money to go and disassemble and decommission M2 Bradley.
Oh, we're back on that topic again.
Well, I mean, you did bring up that the distraction was like sending money to Ukraine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not exactly sending money to Ukraine. It's sending munitions. Big difference.
Yeah, I think that did need to be repeated because it is a big difference, and it's like, oh, it's doing something that actually benefits us
Mm-hmm.
because we're getting rid of the munitions, and it's not like Europe where they're just literally sending the money and then hoping that something comes out of it. We're just like there's second order things going on here, which I have to admit I have to just sit back and laugh at because it's, god
Yeah.
damn, are we playing this better than they are?
Well, yeah. I mean, because we're better at this than they are. Every time they've fought a major war, they've had to have us fight the rest of it for them. World War One, guess who fucking crossed into Germany first? World War
Yeah.
Two, same shit.
But did you guys see that really pathetic Kash Patel interview on Joe Rogan?
I don't like Cash Patel.
I have not
To
watched.
be
it.
I don't like
honest,
Kash Patel either.
I try
No.
and actually stay away from interviews like that because,
Well, I just
frankly, it's just not all that interesting to me.
No, well, I mean, I didn't watch the whole interview because again, that wasn't. I had no interest in seeing the whole thing. But there was a clip that went viral, where first of all, it was him like 3 years ago talking about the Epstein list and about like the elite like cover up and the rig and everything. But then when he goes on Joe Rogan like 2 weeks ago, he's like taking the complete other stance. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, the Epstein thing's overblown. The Epstein files, they never exist." And then Joe Rogan is just like just starts grilling him after that, and
Which is
he's like,
great.
"What are you?" Yeah, but
And I found that every single time I bit the bullet and watched a Joe Rogan interview, that I found them extremely illuminating because there's all sorts of they always crack, they always say something stupid, and then Joe Rogan always just like grills them. It's great.
oh,
You
my,
learn something.
one of my favorites, classic moment was when he had Dave Rubin on, and when he was talking about like the building codes. And then after that, he was talking about, which is funny because Joe Rogan apparently he used to be in construction when he was younger, and so he like just immediately corrected him. And then also when Dave Rubin's talking about, oh yeah, no, like I he confused like the UPS with a USPS. And so basically, he was like, "Yeah, we need more private companies like the USP." But basically, so Dave Rubin was just being
Incompetent.
it was sophistry. It was his usual sophistry. But and then Joe Rogan never had him back on again. Refused to invite him back on. And when Dave Rubin wrote his really, really shitty, poor excuse from a book called "Don't Burn This Book" back in 2020. He was like, "Oh yes, I want to go on Rogan again to promote my book." It just like he sent like 5 emails to Joe Rogan over the course of 2 weeks. He just got ignored.
Yeah, well, Dave Rubin is
he's pathetic. He's pathetic. Like honestly, like one of my favorite things to do is dunk on Dave Rubin. I know he's low hanging fruit, but it's just. What's funny? So Dave Rubin has me blocked.
I can't make the jokes that I want to make.
Does he?
Dave Rubin be?
Dave Rubin has me blocked on Twitter because of like, just because I made a mild critique of his book in response to a post that he made like 5 years ago.
Christ.
I was basically like, I don't know if I said it was disappointing, but I was like, oh, I think it could have been. I forget what it was, but
you see, unless you're like dick sucking the book, it's not good enough. Unless you're like.
Have you noticed how much dick sucking?
Or dick sucking him because it's Dave Rubin.
Yeah.
Like the Dad Sad books and the and all of a sudden that Trump is pushing some book. And I've had a similar situation. Jordan Peterson blocked me over a minor criticism. And
what about Jordan Peterson?
He blocked me over a minor criticism.
Oh, Jordan Peterson! You blocked by Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, Jordan Peterstein. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I was blocked by Monica Lewinsky on my old account. I missed that most times.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Jordan. So yeah, Chuck is just saying, Jordan Peterson is fried. Yeah, something happened to him when he was in that coma. Like he came back and sold out to the.
Well, when you do benzos for years, it's gonna fuck with you. When you do fucking.
From what I understand, he's actually significantly.
I think he's also a recovered alcoholic too. I think when he was like younger.
Yes.
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's.
I know. He wrote his PhD thesis on alcoholism. So
I can't remember what drug it was. It was something that they gave him while he was in a hospital in Russia, but it was highly addictive and I don't remember what it was. Methadone, and one of the major side effects of methadone was that it causes neurological damage and it makes it difficult for you to maintain your emotional state. So he has fits of anger, and that's why he cries.
That's why he cries every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm the king of the insults.
I just remember it's like, oh, Papa, no, Papa. It's like, what is it? Papa Geppetto wished on the star. It said, I want a son. It's heartbreaking. And then he started crying over Pinocchio.
And to be fair, like it's real. It's real emotion. It's just that he's fried like that. And it's I honestly sympathize.
I think he's probably like I've always gotten the sense like look he says silly things sometimes and gets
he's weird like if you read his book.
He's a weird guy, but I do think he genuinely cares like about.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't think he's a good guy.
I think he's genuinely probably a decent guy, but
I don't.
He's just. But
I don't know if he is anymore.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of him, but like.
He's right when it comes to psychological evaluations.
Here's the thing. He got famous for all the wrong reasons. Basically, he got famous for culture war reasons. Got sucked into that whole sphere. When in reality, in a parallel universe, he'd be if he just stuck with psychology and like writing his books and stuff, he could have been another. I mean, he could have been another Joseph Campbell or something.
He is the most experienced and has more expertise than any other psychiatrist in the Western world. He deserves recognition for that.
Yeah,
instead he sold out to Bagel Town.
No, he sold out to
his daughter is who did it.
Yeah, and then he whored out his daughter
to Andrew Tate.
Yeah, literally.
That's what I criticized him over. Like maybe, while you're saying these things, maybe you should get your own house in order.
Yeah, you're a horrible fucking father.
Considering,
I do think there is some projection there on his part, even if he doesn't realize it.
He's not wrong to say those things, but
but he's not necessarily living up to. But either way, so I'm not saying I didn't necessarily lose like all respect for. I was always kind of milquetoast on him. Like I liked some of the stuff he says, but I didn't understand the sort of like cult that was around him. I thought that was a bit cringe. But either way,
It was like the Riddler, like king of the incels mentality, honestly.
Actually,
no, but either way, but then I did lose quite a bit of respect for him. I mean, not that much because I was never, again, a huge fan of the first. But then when he basically sold out to the Daily Wire and he gets to show on the Daily Wire, that's when he jumped the shark. That is the moment he jumped the shark.
The true gold from Peterson is the college lectures. That stuff will save your life, and it saved my life.
He's a great lecturer. Yeah,
it saved my life legitimately. I read his book; it helped me.
It was a good book. 12 Rules.
I'm the big Jordan Peterson cheerleader, so it's very sad to see him fall this way because he's not the same person I remember from like 10 years ago.
No, he's not. Yeah, I think he got sucked in. He got sucked into the. He basically. It's like when you put a frog in like a pot of water and then you slowly turn up the heat. That's kind of what it was with Jordan Peterson when he got sucked into the whole culture war thing.
Yeah,
He just was immensely ready for it, and he like cracked, honestly.
I think he's incapable of running his own life at this point, and his daughter basically runs his life, and she's a degenerate.
Degenerate whore. Yeah, degenerate whore.
But either way, so back to the Epstein files. Do you guys have what else do you guys have to add? Like, would you guys agree that Trump totally fumbled with his, I guess, his damage control?
Yeah.
To be honest, he fumbled so hard, in my opinion, that I really wouldn't be surprised if he's completely destroyed populism in the United States for a decade.
I think he could save it just by releasing the files. I think that's all he has to do.
Yeah. And then
Well,
apologize
here's the
also.
thing. If
Trump
his
doesn't know how to
name is-
apologize, so
I don't
If his
fucking want to
name is
apologize
on-
from him.
If his name is on those files, he's screwed. He's just screwed.
hey, but if he releases the files and says, "Yeah, my name's on the files," but like I promised that I would end up releasing them, and if he does it on principle, of course he's not a very principled person, but if he did that on principle, like you'd have people who'd be willing to overlook that and be like, "Okay, yeah, I think it's good that you." It's like.
Well,
Good that you released the Epstein file.
but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people looking at those people, overlooking that, and calling them out for that, basically saying, why are you siding with this person who's on the Epstein files?
Yeah, but
And
remember,
it's
like,
going to very quickly spiral out of control.
remember
because-
when? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because, like, we all know how incredibly hard it is to go and control a populist movement. This is why Color Revolution fails, in fact, as a fucking theory.
I hate populism so much. It's a good as populism as a rhetorical tool. That's one thing. Populism as a rhetorical tool is useful, but in terms of policy, that's totally different.
It's like an all-encompassing ideology. It makes no sense.
Like
You can't just acquiesce to the random whims of the public. That's what got us into this mess into the first place. Direct democracy
we
controlling
have too much
everything.
script. No, so we don't. We have it's mass democracy. Mass democracy by necessity becomes populism. Populism becomes Caesarism, and then you're back to tyranny. Like the logical, like basically the logical conclusion of democracy is Caesarism. Like that is.
Yeah, which is why we need to move back to Republican forms of government.
Exactly. No, I'm like I
At
am
minimum, yes.
Yeah.
At minimum, yes, you're
We
right.
didn't move to an anti-democratic form of
Chicago.
government.
Remember when we had that mock Discord parliament, and then you and I co-sponsored the Heinlein Act, which was to limit like voting to veterans.
Jesus Christ.
Not just that, but people who went out of their way to go and serve and got medals for it, like a Purple Heart. So you would have to be wounded in combat to vote.
And I remember,
That's actually kind of amazing because
no, I just remember how hilarious it was because I was like, okay, guys, I'll end up writing the Constitution, and then I took too long, and then everyone just got bored. It was like, yeah, you're taking too long, and that's what killed it.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I remember.
this was over COVID. So
You remember Cringe-Walker, right?
yes, I know Cringe Walker.
yeah.
Okay, good. So he
streamed
tries
with
to
him.
go and get me one time to go and actually make a Discord like mock UN thing, but it was the US structured like the heavy Roman well, structured like the Holy Roman Empire. It
Oh,
fell
kinda-
through though because he failed to go and ever give me any fucking details on what he wanted, despite the fact that he asked him 12 fucking times.
Honestly,
You mean like the real
I love the guy, but he'd make a terrible politician.
He has some bad takes on Twitter, I have to say.
Yeah,
I
he
like
really
him though,
does.
but
He's honest about what he believes though. Like, and he doesn't he's not afraid
okay.
to say what he believes.
You know,
okay.
yeah, that
Stop
is
being
a
retarded
good point. That is a good point. His opinions at times are utter dog shit. But
love
at
you,
least
bro.
he's
Let's
I
not.
love you,
honest
Crane
about it.
Crawford.
I just want to say let's not talk about him when he's not here to defend
Oh,
himself.
definitely.
Okay, then I will like.
He's my
I will
friend, so-
straight up
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I love you, bro, but get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
I mean, like maybe that craziness is what generated those banger AA ads, the Foundations of Economics ad, like with the AI generated Trump dialogue is like the best shit ever.
Oh yeah.
Do more of that.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I
Oh.
remember that. Yeah, no, that was on
Man.
Yeah, that was on
I
Jay
need to hang out with-
Burden. It was on Jay Burden's
Hang
show.
out
It
with
was-
you guys more often.
Oh, God, was it?
Shit.
You know, because I remember it was the day before my appearance on Jay Bird. So this would have been January of 23.
Who the hell is
I
Jay
had
Bird?
Jay Burden before he was cool.
Yeah, I was on Jay Burden before he was cool, so.
He streamed with me, not the other way around.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
at least you guys get to hang out with me before I was cool, because I will never be cool.
But yeah, so
Oh.
anyway, where were we with Epstein again?
Terrible
yeah.
person,
Oh, wait, he already
royal
did.
demon.
Oh wait, no, he didn't.
So back,
Yeah.
back to Epstein. So yeah, Trump's reaction. Yeah, we were talking about that. Who was? I think it was American Elitist. I want to hear from you. I haven't heard from you about this.
Yeah, terrible. He should release the stuff. But again, my focus is like deporting brown people. So as long as he does that, I'll support him tangentially.
Man, at least you're honest about it.
I am, because that's all that matters right now.
Oh, right. There was one last thing, and I want to know if you guys remember this. Remember, like back when some of the Epstein lists, some of the Epstein files were released. A little bit of it was, and Trump was mentioned twice in those documents, and it just turned out it was just people who were visiting the island who were mentioning him offhand. And I'm wondering if it's something similar like that in the actual Epstein files.
I mean, maybe. But then it's like very weird that Trump then said that like his name is on there because the Democrats planted it on there, and I don't know. It just doesn't
It's a
sit
pathetic.
right.
It's a
It
pathetic
just doesn't
reaction.
sit right with me.
He didn't
you know?
handle that well. I mean, it could be true, but it's still pathetic. You're right.
He
Yeah,
was
it's
friends with the guy in the 90s, so.
It just doesn't.
Yeah, but they've never really proved that they were close.
No, like he cut off. I mean, from at least as far as I know, this is what I've heard.
He threw him out of
I mean, so,
Mar-a-Lago.
but after he sort of like started getting a sense of what Epstein was doing, he like cut off contact. Like they hadn't talked since 2004.
Right, and some people say it was over business, but that's like the perfect excuse as to reason to throw him out. Like,
Exactly.
oh, you're being an asshole to me. Well, I don't really like tolerating any of the shit you do, so fuck off.
Yeah,
By the way, why has the
definitely.
CIA never released any of the stuff they took from his island that we saw?
Because
them
it's
take?
the, because the CIA, they don't like they're in the business of withholding as much information from the public as possible, and then when they do release declassified stuff, it's not actually the real declassified stuff. Like, do you really think that
here's
the
the thing.
do you really think that the JFK files that they released 4 years ago, those are the actual JFK files? Like, no.
You know, this is going to sound like very blue-pilled, but it's my honest opinion, so I'll just go and give it. Like, the reason why the CIA doesn't do that is probably because they hand it off to a different agency that's actually in charge of looking after anything domestically related, because the CIA is international espionage. So it's probably with the NSA or FBI at this moment.
It's like really when you look into this, it's also really like when you really go down the CIA rabbit hole, then that's it, and then it just hits you after when you're going down the rabbit hole. It hits you, holy shit, they were like as bad, if not worse, than the KGB. So,
Oh, definitely. But here's the thing. They were our bastards. And I prefer it that way because they were a lot more competent than the KGB.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like,
Um,
welcome to the Cold War. It's full of necessary evils. And yes, the CIA back then was a necessary evil.
yeah,
It was
I mean, we
very
see.
much a
I mean,
necessary
I mean,
evil.
I know it's their level of involvement is disputed in this case, but
Even then,
but in terms of this example, but if they were involved in the ousting of Allende back in the early 70s, like the CIA single-handedly
no,
saved Chile.
actually, the CIA was not involved in that.
No, that's
They
what
were
I'm saying.
involved-
That's what. Yeah, no, there's a debate over how involved they actually were. I
No,
don't think
actually,
that they
they
were
weren't
that involved.
involved,
But I'm
but
saying
that's
if they were involved, they saved Chile.
Well, as I was saying for the context, they were involved in the Navy's coup, which failed. Then Pinochet went in and did his coup. Every color revolution the CIA has ever tried has actually failed.
Huh.
Every single one. Because color revolution doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, the fact
Like,
that the
in
globalists
fact-
haven't won yet is proof that they don't work. Yes.
In fact, Ukraine was a color revolution that was tried by the Russians.
Oh, another one is the Arab Spring also. Arab Spring was not grassroots. Arab Spring was not natural. It was bankrolled by CIA, MI6.
By the Obama administration, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only
The-
point of color
It wasn't an
ones-
organic. It was
the
not
ones
an
in the
organic
Gulf
movement.
States- The
Like,
ones in
dude,
the
they-
Gulf States,
yeah.
yes, but the one in
Egypt
Syria,
or Syria.
well, the one in Egypt actually overthrew the government that then was the
Mubarak,
color
right?
revolution.
It was Mubarak, right? I think.
Yeah.
Well, Mubarak was the like establishment dictator, which was
Yeah,
then
yeah.
overthrown by an attempted color revolution, which pretty much almost immediately stopped listening to the CIA. Then that was overthrown because it was too Islamic.
That was the Muslim Brotherhood, by the way. That was the Muslim.
So-
And in Libya, still not a color revolution because there's already been guerrilla movements against Gaddafi for decades. We pretty much just gave them a bit more money.
Well, that was mainly France also involved with that one.
Yeah. And for Syria, yeah, there's been movements against the Assad family again for decades.
And he also protected the Syrian Christians too.
He did
nobody
until
tells you-
Bagel
they
Town
don't
got
tell you that. That's
removed.
something they never tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't listen to the media about anything, and you'll be fine.
Mhm. All right, hold on.
You know,
So I don't know.
I
so-
always find it super funny when people
Anybody
like,
have-
say that
is
the
there
CIA
anything-
is behind everything when actually the CIA was pretty much completely defanged in the late 70s. Because that's when Congress
Oh, right.
realized that the CIA was in charge of no less than 500 shell companies, including the flag airline of Taiwan and the largest corporation in Switzerland. Those
Yeah,
were
and yet
CIA
people-
front companies.
Right, and yet people can't believe that they were in control of USAID.
USAID, no, that's definitely just the State Department. Because, like, the CIA is many things. One thing it's not is in the business of actually infiltrating the US government. That's the NSA and DIA. The CIA infiltrates foreign governments. It just hides things from the US government basically behind secrecy. And it's usually actually for pretty good reason.
I'm pretty sure it was exposed that the CIA got involved with USAID so that they could do exactly what you're describing.
You go and do color revolutions?
Yes.
We haven't been in the business of color revolutions for decades because the CIA realized those don't work in the 70s.
Yeah, but now they're controlling postmodernists that don't understand that.
So if there's one thing that the CIA is, it's actually a fairly like conservative organization when it comes to retaining.
Yeah, the rank and file.
Well, no, actually, when it comes to retaining lessons learned, they retain those very well. Like
Yeah,
that's
I'm not-
why like after the 50s and 60s, you don't really hear much about CIA-sponsored coups that fail.
Right, and that's mostly because like all the color revolution stuff that they actually do is just window dressing for the coups. It's to sort of convince people who have no knowledge of what's going on there that there's a like a grassroots organization, and they're all just they're standing up and throwing off oppression, when in reality that virtually never happens, because the way that works in reality is a small organized minority is the one who actually does all the work.
Yeah. Really, all the CIA really does is as soon as a junta has already taken control in a coup, if it's
Yeah.
pro-American, they then tend to go and give them a little bit of help.
Yeah,
They don't
that's what I
actually
was
do
to say.
the
They
coup.
send them as
But
consultants,
again,
basically
that
as
is
consultants.
literally their
Right.
job. So, like, why would I fault them for doing their job well?
Right. When we mention color revolutions, we don't mean actual revolutions. We mean that like they're doing gay ops shit.
So
I guess.
either way, so is
So,
that in terms of Epstein? Has everyone said everything they want to say about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
We're over
I
the
mean, there's
3 hour
not
marker.
there's not really much that has to be said on Epstein. We already know what happens. We're pretty much in agreement that yeah, this could definitely break Trump.
Yeah.
What else is there to say?
No. Yeah. I think this is the. Yeah. No, that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. So, like I said, I've always been very, very. I've never been a huge fan of Trump. I've liked quite a few things that he has done, and I really liked how this term was starting out. It was kind of a pleasant surprise for me. But first of all, after the tariffs, and then again after the Epstein file, like that was the straw on the camel's back for me. Like Trump can. It was always going to be difficult for like Trump to redeem himself in my eye, but like now it's impossible. Like I cannot. Yeah, I can't, frankly, find many positive things to say about him these days.
If he deport enough brown people, redeem
No,
himself in
not
my
like-
eyes.
Either way, though, it's just he's lost the plot. So, either way, so
Yeah,
moving on. So I think we should move on. We maybe go another 5 minutes or so, but we are now at the conclusion of the stream, and I think we should do final thoughts now, just about the entire stream. Which is, of course, what we always do. So not just about this section. But what I want us to do is give your final thoughts on Trump's performance the past 6 months of his presidency, and then give him a score. Give him a grade score, like for A to F, and explain why. So we will start with American elitists, and we'll go in that direction again. So.
Again, I'll reiterate what I said at the beginning of the stream. He's been better than I've expected. You know, an average politician in like our bagel hat occupied government to be. He's done some good things on immigration. Again, I want to see more people deported, but he's doing something on that. So, just for that alone, I would give him B-, just for deporting people. That would be my reasoning for that.
Anything else like that's not related to immigration that you want to add, or was that it?
No, that's the only issue that matters. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, you are a single issue guy. Okay, now Chicago. I'm sure you have something. Yeah.
Well, let me see. I did initially really enjoy his moves to go and try and remove some frivolous regulation from the nuclear industry, because there's a lot of regulations that are essentially just arranged versions of other regulations. So that's a pretty good plus, actually. Him trying to go and actually get back that deal to go and have U.S. Steel merge with Nippon Steel of Japan to go and make the steel industry more dynamic here was also good positive. Unfortunately, the more recent events have really tanked him, in my opinion. So I guess it's like doing very well at the start of the semester,
Yes.
and then just forgetting to turn in homework assignments and bombing a few exams. So it's like a D. He's gonna have to retake this fucking course.
I hope not. No, this is his last chance.
Oh yeah, true. He's on academic probation. He's about to fucking drop out, man.
That's what. Yeah. No. I honestly, I find myself agreeing kind of with Dave Smith's take about it. Like they should introduce articles of impeachment at this point. Like, I'm sorry. I'm in my.
Okay,
So I don't
here's
have.
the thing.
I don't say this from the perspective of like TDS or anything because TDS is fucking retarded, but at this point I am genuinely on my anti-Trump arc, and for good
Well,
reason.
I guess you can just be retarded then.
Well, okay. For me, like the reason why I don't want articles of impeachment is because then that just gives us a precedence to don't have that be a very frivolous thing that Congress does every 4 years. That should not be the case.
It's been ever since Clinton. Each side has tried to impeach the other president. It's just like a dumb back and forth. I do agree.
Yeah, and that's just.
Yeah.
But I do think. But for instance, unlike the quid pro quo thing back in 2019, or either 2019 or 2020,
nonsense.
Now that Ukraine thing with the first time the Democrats impeached him, like that was stupid. That didn't deserve impeachment. But like I think the Epstein files, I think that's such a serious blunder on his part. It is something.
I think it's a blunder, not something worth impeaching over.
Okay,
because
we need to go first.
99.9%.
I know it's not an impeachable offense, but
hold on.
But it's like you need a pretense to impeach him. However, the reason I would actually want him impeached is because of that. However, I know, of course, there's not a precedent for that.
In every real politic, in every real politique idea, that would be really dumb to impeach him when he's basically the president that's given you the most in a long time, and it would destroy a large amount of momentum in any movement to put in another decent president. We would just slide backwards to just back to pre-Trump 2016.
If I may,
go ahead.
Yeah, if you want
to impeach Trump on the Epstein list, you need to have a damn good reason for why that list is impeachable, which means we need to first see what's on the list and go through that due process.
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to leak. I know they're going to get killed.
If you're not going to impeach someone on due process, then what the hell are you doing? You are actually damaging this republic immensely.
Yeah, don't give like the worst form of the Democratic Party that it's ever been in that sort of control over what's going on in Congress.
I don't know. I think the worst form of the Democratic Party was when it was full of people who owned 1/4 of the population.
Maybe, but
the Democrats were at their best in the 1880s through about up until Woodrow Wilson up until Woodrow Wilson and William Jennings Bryan hijacked the Democratic Party from the Bourbons. Like the Bourbon Democrats were peak Democrats.
Enjoy William Jennings Bryan in a way because like he was necessary at that time, and if he became president, he actually probably would have been a pretty decent president, just like Teddy Roosevelt.
Because I need you guys to keep in mind on like how impeachments work is that basically you have to give Dems the floor first so that they can put it forward, and then they have to vote on it, and then it has to go to the Senate and all that crap, and then there has to be an actual trial. And it's like you realize that like basically while all that's going on, Congress can't do its real job, and it wastes hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so I don't want.
I'd rather
Trump
they were.
impeached.
Yeah, I would rather the Congress keep doing its job.
I would rather that we don't punish like the Republican Party politicians that do their job in Congress, but the ones that are just MAGA dick suckers that only do what Trump tells them to the point that it's almost like a cult. Yeah, those ones need to be punished for this.
Yeah, no, it's another form of TDS basically. It's like reverse TDS. So
yeah, which is by the way equally as bad.
Yes, exactly.
You
the
can't
weirdest
have
thing
a
about that is
Caesar
that I
in a
get accused
republic.
of that all the time.
For me, like, people already know that. I mean, I just do not like the government very much. I've made
I'm not
it very
a big
clear
fan of the
Twitter.
government. 30.
Yeah, I mean, so you said you'd give him a D?
Yeah. I mean,
all right,
like it is still redeemable, probably, if he really puts in the work for the next 3 years.
I can't see that happening though, especially given how impotent he was during his first term.
Well, yeah, again, it's like trying to pull into a B or at least a C when you have a D in the last week of the semester. It is
yeah.
possible. It is very challenging, but it is possible.
I don't think it undoes like all the W's that he has so far. Considering on a daily basis there are big W's.
Well, keep in mind that one of the biggest issues I always have when voting is conservation, and Trump very nearly killed a lot of conservation initiatives.
Yeah, he's probably conflating it with like environmentalism. It's like, oh, environmentalism equal woke, but yeah.
Yeah,
It might be a boomerism.
it's really not. I just really enjoy being able to like go out onto public lands when I'm visiting family out
Yes.
west and
Oh, yeah,
actually
no, I mean,
enjoy nature.
I spent my summers as a child, like growing up, like 1 month out of every year, just in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, so for me, like, if there's even a 1% chance that that can be threatened for my children, you bet your ass I'm gonna be pissed and go full fire and brimstone over it.
Yeah.
Because
All right.
that's something that once it's gone, you can't ever have it back.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Hey,
But,
at least
yeah.
Bagel Town will get another $1 billion.
All right, so now 3 of 12.
Yes.
So yeah, give me your final assessment, your rating of Trump, and then also letter grade.
Okay. Well, he's obviously not perfect, but I think that that his platform is coherent. I think that it's overall positive. His work to work with other political entities that aren't normally in the political space has been handy, and the idea that he's pushing forward the idea that there should be a coherent force in government to deregulate itself and to shrink itself are all great ideas. The fact that I know some people hate the spending, but he's right that some spending needs to occur. That there needs to be more enforcement at the border. There needs that certain areas of government do need to actually do their job and enforce. Law and order is good. His economic instincts are, for the most part, good. Even I know that some people don't agree with me on tariffs, but I think I agree with Dan from the Lotus Eaters. He's right on tariffs. He's right on what it does and how he's wielding them. His unpredictability makes him difficult to deal with. The bureaucratic states, say the EU and other more less coordinated governments, don't have any way to deal with him. The dunking on our enemies and in subtle and overt ways has been not just productive, but extremely entertaining. So if I had to give him a final grade, I think he's at the very least a B plus, if not A minus.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Why do you agree with that person on the Lotus Eaters about tariffs?
Because economically that it makes sense. See, the part that people are missing about tariffs is that the importers who pay them more than anything, more than anyone, are rich people who don't care what they're paying for when it comes to these luxury goods that they're importing. The average person doesn't import very many goods, if anything. And if not, the one time that they really buy into that part of the economy is when they buy a car. Like, say you buy a Toyota, it's assembled here, the parts come from elsewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you buy an American one, because like the Mexican ones kind of suck. Although the Canadians actually done a good job of building cars when they've been given the chance.
Yeah, the real funny thing about that was the Canadians signed into NAFTA to go and try and save their car industry to go and continue manufacturing cars there.
Yeah.
But it ended up actually completely killing it.
Yeah, which is a
Like,
shame.
all of the
Like I said, they're
all
good
the
at it.
factories in Toronto are gone, and those factories were some of the ones that built Shermans in World War II.
Yeah, well, maybe they should protect their economy a little bit.
They
Now,
really should.
I'm not to quell the polemic a little bit. I will. We don't want a repeat of like the interwar period with excessive protectionism. I agree entirely, but I think that a little bit of it is a good thing. Not too much of it, but a little bit is a good thing. Because we have been negligent in protecting the domestic production, and we are in a position where we can actually use this as a tool when most other nation states couldn't because it would hurt their economy too much. And this is the sort of lack of nuance that people who are just crapping on the idea of tariffs, period, are not understanding. It's much more nuanced. And honestly, I came to the conclusion even before Dan said those things. Dan just explained it in with economic jargon, because like you, Politicrat, he also has an economic education in economics, and I'm not sure why you don't agree with him. I don't get that, because it makes sense from America's perspective. It might not make sense in other nation states, but it definitely makes sense in the United States.
It could probably just be the economic school of thought that he's part of, since I know that the Austrians are just always against tariffs.
Well,
I'm an unapologetic Austrian, so
yeah.
Right, and so am I. I would say in a perfect world, you should have no tariffs, but we're not living in a perfect world. And we're living in a world where every single nation state does tariffs with each other. You're going to have to just do it. You have no choice. You can play with it, but you can play with it and reduce it if ideally in order to sort of like put forward this idea, hey, maybe we should reduce our tariffs with each other. But in the real world, you have to do the negotiation. You got to do the dance.
Yeah.
All right. So you said B+. You said.
Yeah, at the very least. Maybe an A- if you're generous.
So for me, I'd say if it weren't for the Epstein files, I'd say a C, maybe a C+, but I think D+, or so either a low C- or a high D+. Just it was, again, Epstein and the tariffs. Those are the two main things. But yeah, that's my appraisal.
Yeah,
so
I guess for me, if it weren't for the Epstein thing, I would be giving Trump like a C. Just he's okay. Not too memorable of a president, but at least an inoffensive.
Memorable. He's very memorable.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. People will remember him for his speeches. They will not remember him for his policy.
I think he's actually held the best singers for when he craps on other leaders in the Oval Office.
Oh, I love his nicknames. I love his dumb little child, like his like little playground bully nicknames, like Lion, Ted, Sleepy Joe.
Well, again, this is like
people
Ronald
who
Reagan.
deserve being hit.
This is like Ronald Reagan. People remember him for the jokes that he's made in the speeches. People don't remember him for his policies.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
I feel like I'm the only one who actually likes Reagan on the stream. But
well, like people have a very vague idea of what his policies are. But unless you actually really get into the nitty-gritty of his presidency, you'd be unsure on if the policy is from Reagan, if it's from Jimmy Carter's last months, or if it's from George H.W. Bush or even Bill Clinton.
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I disagree too. I say we're over the 3 hour and 20 minute mark, so I think that I'm gonna have to cut it off here. That does merit this does merit another conversation.
You should go and stream again in a month.
Well, no, I'm gonna try. I want to try to make this a weekly thing actually again.
All right. I cannot come next week. I'm going to be in Colorado for a family reunion.
That's totally fine. Yeah. So, but either way, so anybody else have any final thoughts? Say your piece before we log out.
Yeah. See you guys in 2 years.
All right, everybody. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We had a good talk. It was a little went off the rails a couple times, but that is the political pigpen. That's kind of always been part of the course. But yeah, no, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And good night to the audience, and good night to the panel.